Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure, may I say an honor, Joel Lickliter from...
You lamp liquor.
Dude, the times your last name has to be just absolutely butchered in your life has got to be pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, when you call to get a pizza delivered, and you tell them your last name, and they laugh at you.
Yeah, and you switch a couple letters around, man. You got a completely different last name, like something where you'd be seeing yourself in adult films or something like that.
Buddy, how you think I got my wife?
Hello.
You know what this last name means, baby?
She's like, that one. I want that one.
Yes, I want that man.
Especially with that stash, man. Come on now.
Dude, hey, man. I tell you, the only reason the stash is back is because she was watching a video of me cooking a venison Philly cheesesteak, and she saw the stash, and she goes, you got to bring that back. So dude, mama wants it, mama gets it.
I love that, man. I'm obviously a big supporter of the beards, but once in a while I get a wild hair, man, and that stash just feels right sometimes. You know what I mean?
But yours is strong, bro. Like
it's pretty strong.
If you trim the bushes down and just went with a straight stash, man, you got a strong foundation going.
I'll never forget when we went to Costa Rica. Side note, that's when my wife thought I was going to propose to her. I didn't, but I had a stash during that, and a memory popped up on Facebook or some shit, and I saw him like, God damn, that's a handsome young man right there.
It is, man. In certain situations, I was attracted to myself when I
you walk by, you get your reflection real quick, like, hey, whoa, who's that guy?
Hey.
Who is that guy?
I'd have sex with him.
If I wasn't married, I swear.
Absolutely. Oh, and just for the people that are listening, the last name's Lickliter.
Lickliter. There you go. Yeah. Beautiful. Well,
it looks like Lickliter, but anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, it looks like a whole lot of things. We won't get into that. But you are the co-owner, you and your wife, of Reload Rub and Seasoning. I've got to say right off the bat, it's been a pleasure working with you guys. It's been what? I don't even know how many years it's been at this point. I've lost count, but
you're an OG, man.
I'm one of the original OGs, but that stuff really doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but you guys are really great people. Love working with you guys, and man, it's so cool to see only maybe let's say 4 or 5 years ago, let's say that I'm ballparking here, but let's say 4 or 5 years ago, where you guys started and where you guys are at now. It's really fucking cool to see. So if you could, I know you pretty well, even though I don't even know how to say your last name, nor actually have I actually met you, which is even better. But it's one of those relationships where it really doesn't matter. We're just
word
two dudes who vibe off each other really well. In a totally heterosexual way. I wanted to say that as well. But if you could give a quick little snapshot of just kind of your background and just yourself, and we're going to talk about Reload down the road in this podcast, but if you just want to give a little, quick background on yourself for the listeners.
Yeah, man. So, my name's Joel, and me and my wife, Stacy, we run the company Reload Rub and Seasoning. As much as the masculine company and whatnot, Stacy's really the wizard behind the curtain of this entire company. This company wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Stacy. She is a badass, not only at making spice blends, but she is also a badass at marketing. She is a hard-working woman when it comes to just making things happen. And she knows when to say no too, because I got a lot of pipe dreams sometimes, and she knows when to put me in my place. But yeah, that's it, man. Like I grew up an outdoorsman, my whole life. That's what got me into social media. Was when me and my wife met. She had never had any kind of outdoor cooking, any kind of venison, wild game, none of that jazz. And I cooked her some wild game properly, and she loved it and said, "You have to show people how to do this." Because at the time, whenever I first got into social media, cooking wild game wasn't really a big thing. It was a bunch of country kooks, out there that were, just frying everything and smothering it in gravy. Now, I like that too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, come on, pump the brakes.
But it was, I feel like that I was kind of at the forefront of showing that online. And that's the old school, the artist formerly known as Home Cooking Hunter.
Yes, sir.
That's what I used to go by. But
Yeah.
that's, in a nutshell, that's it. I love the outdoors. I love to hunt. I love to cook, barbecue, wild game. Love to eat. And I also love a great cup of bourbon or whiskey. So that's me, bro.
I love it. And yeah, just coming from Southern California, and I'm relatively new to hunting. I mean, I've been doing it sporadically, throughout the years, but I only took it semi air quotes seriously only within the last probably like 4 or 5 years. But wild game is just one of those things where is either you really know how to work with it or you just absolutely destroy it. You know what I mean? Meaning you don't know how to cook it or you do. And it's really nice to see someone like you come in who has that knowledge. You've been around the wild game scene, you've been around hunting for so long, and you're able to actually, give that knowledge, spread that knowledge to other people. It's really nice because I'm telling you, I personally know hunters who, claim that they're the best out there, this, that, and the other, and they'll cook you, some venison steak. And it's a fucking hockey puck.
Yeah, man.
And don't get me wrong, it's tough. It's a tough meat to cook with for sure. It's super lean. There's not a lot of fat on it whatsoever. But then I've had some wild game where like, okay, it doesn't all have to be like you're chewing on a hockey puck or, a rubber core. Like it can taste good. You know what I mean?
I mean, homie, it's like any other cut of meat that you deal with. Once you know the properties and how it reacts under certain situations, because everything's going to cook differently. My stove doesn't cook like your stove. My smoker may not cook like your smoker. We're in different parts of the world. Yeah. But it's once you do it enough, screw up enough, you realize, okay, this is how I like to do it. This is what works, and I'm going to work around that. So, in a sense, man, like, cooking in general isn't as hard as people make it out to be. You just have to be willing to fail a few times and feed it to the dogs,
Yeah. I mean, that goes with anything, right?
Mm-hmm. No,
you gotta be willing to fail. You gotta be able to take some bruises and dust yourself off and get back up, because
I've taken some hard hits, buddy.
I'm sure you have, and we'll get into that. But I did want to say there's a couple things that come to mind when I think about Joel. I think about barbecue, bourbon, hunting, small business owner, and an over-the-top volunteer fan.
Amen, buddy. Let's go. Don't get me singing Rocky Top on here, because I will.
All right, we're gonna jump into the bowls later, but I'm parched over here. Let's go. Let's talk a little bit of boozing with the boys. What are you gonna be sipping on tonight, dude?
So I'm going to start things off. I was introduced to these two pours right here. I'm drinking some Irish whiskey in lieu of St. Patrick's Day.
Let's go.
But I was introduced to these two pours right here through my buddy Lou, Blues and Barbecue on Instagram. Shout out. The first one is going to be Green Spot. It is a 80 proof Irish whiskey, super smooth. Now listen, just so you know, here, I got to do this. I do this.
Yeah, get in there. There it is. But
I'm a snob, dude.
I know you are. I know you are.
When it comes to my pours, I'm a snob. And if I was to describe this Green Spot, it's kind of like a wet barn when it's raining. Like this. Think about it. Think about
that's nice.
The smell.
Yeah.
Like wet moss. Okay, that's the snot's coming out, but that's what it is, man. That's what, when I smell it and taste it, it reminds me of just being outside, like in a wet barn when it's raining.
Interesting. That is like the most Tennessee way of describing something I've ever heard. Is there a tin roof as well on the barn where the rain is making a noise?
Yeah, we got to have one of those.
You got to have that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So I actually I'll back up. Shout out to you guys at your podcast. It's at the Reload Life, correct?
No, it's that Reload podcast. Yeah,
Reload podcast. I remember you guys would frequently do pours all the time. That was actually like a really big segment of yours. And you'd always bring up these great bourbons, and I could never find. And finally, I was at one bar, and the bartender reaches up and he's like, "You guys ever had this?" And is the green, the one you just, it was, man. And I was like, oh shit. and I was like, oh, Joel and Stacey been talking this thing up. and I finally got some of it. And damn, I will say right here, right now, that is some good shit right there.
It is, man. And like
Yeah.
when I drink whiskey or bourbon, it's 100 proof or more for me. That's where I like to be at. I really don't like drinking
Okay.
anything inside the 90s. And I don't want to go down too much a rabbit hole, but for me, the 100 to 115 proof just has a way more expression and flavor in it than something that's down in the 90s, because they cut, when they pull it out of the barrel, they cut it with water. So
Okay.
when it's lower proof, it's because they've cut it with more water. And this being an 80 proofer, I mean, it freaking slaps. It is full of flavor, and you're not going to get, you can have you a few pours of this and you're not going to get off your rocker either.
Yeah. That's awesome. And we can definitely go down rabbit holes of bourbon and whiskey and all that good stuff. So I don't have any Irish whiskey, but I do have some Monkey Shoulder, which is a Scotch whiskey. I'm not like the biggest Scotch whiskey fan in the world, but I did have this at a buddy's house over some cigars, and I was a huge fan of this. So, and they got a really cool bottle. They got like this Three Monkeys coming down here.
Yeah,
it's good shit.
Dude,
have you ever had this?
I have not, and now I'm really intrigued. I did things in reverse order. A lot of times people drink bourbon and then they get into Scotch, but I started with Scotch and got into bourbon after that.
Oh, interesting.
It was I kind of reverse ordered it. A buddy of mine was going through a divorce. He came over to my house with a bottle of Glenlivet, a couple of cigars, and we sat on the back porch and polished that sucker off.
Oh, dude, Glenlivet is another great one, man.
I was hooked after that.
So smooth. I'll give a shout out because they threw me a bottle today, but over at Sisterdale Distillery out of Texas.
Nice.
That's some good shit too. That's their 93 proof, and they also have this is probably up your alley, a 108.
Oh, so it's Sisterdale?
Yeah, Sisterdale Distilling Co.
I'll have to try that, because I've yet to have a Texas whiskey that that's really hit. I mean, not that they're bad, but that's really been like, and I want to, because it's Texas.
Keep shitting on them, Joel. Keep it going.
It's Texas though, man.
I got you. It's good stuff. I really like it. Paul really liked it. Pretty much anyone I've turned on to it, they're like, oh shit, this is actually pretty fucking smooth. I'm more of a fan of the white label. I don't have, I'm not as seasoned as you, where I'm just sitting in the 100 proofs. But that one's a little more tame, and I really enjoy the white label. So
heck yeah, man.
Maybe we can link them up. Maybe you can get them on the podcast or something like that. And
that'd be sweet.
Share a bottle on the pod or something like that. It's good stuff. It's really good stuff. So let's go down the bourbon rabbit hole thing. Okay. How did it really all start? I know you talked about, like, with your buddy going through a divorce and stuff. That's not when it started, right?
No, dude. I tried in my early 20s. I tried to get into bourbon, and I went into this liquor store, and I told the guy, so what's a good bottle of bourbon that I I've never had bourbon. I want to drink it like neat and like you're supposed to,
I hear all the big men do it.
Yeah. The guys with the big dicks, those guys. I want to be like them.
Energy.
So I went in there and I got a bottle of Rowan's Creek. And he's like, get this bottle. And I got it, and it was like gasoline set on fire. I wasn't ready. Dude. Man.
Like you just licked the inside of your gas tank, dude.
Dude, I kept that bottle for probably 3 years and then gave it away to somebody. Okay. And turns out that's a really good bottle to get.
You just weren't ready.
I wasn't ready. Yeah. But I had tried a few times or whatever, and it just never worked out. But I tell you, where it started was on that back deck. When I found my taste for Scotch, that was when the journey kicked in.
Interesting.
I mean, because here's the thing is Stacy, she loves, like, how do I say it? I don't know. She gets excited about, like, playing games, and so, like, I would come home and she'd be like, all right, try these, and she still does it to this day. She's like, try these. And I'm like, okay, well, because I'd have a a few bottles and I would taste them.
You're talking doing the kind of like blind tasting?
Blind pour, yeah. She'd be like, here's a blind pour. And she said, which one do you like better? And I would try it. And, she was always trying to trick me to see if I was consistent or not with or
you're like, oh, you like the $4 bottle?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that's where it started, dude. I started getting
That's
into
cool.
that, and Stacy, now I'll say this, now not to go down too much of a rabbit hole, but she hated it. She
Yeah.
hated the way it smelled. We were sitting on the couch together and she could smell it out of my cup. I just sitting across the couch, and she hated it for the longest time. And then probably about 4 years ago, not even 3 years ago, maybe, she took me to a trip to Louisville, Kentucky for our anniversary. We did the whole bourbon trail, the tours, all that stuff. And when she went and learned about the history and how it's made and all that, that's what gets her rocks off. Okay. Is knowing the semantics of something. And after that, dude, she got hooked. She got hooked after that. Now the reason I have, 200 bottles of bourbon and whiskey, in my house is
Do you
because
really have over 200 bottles?
not over, I would say probably between 180 and 200. Yeah.
Damn, that's impressive, dude.
But the reason I have that is because once she got the taste for it, man, it was like it was like the collection was on, man. She had to find it. She had to get it. She had to get everything, man. But
that's
so
cool.
good for me on that point.
And yeah, good choice on women, by the way. Great job.
I got lucky, homie.
No, that's so funny. And dude, I do this all the time when I go to the market. I'll get all my shit for food prep for the week. And then I was like, I'll just hang a leftover here and see what's down this aisle. And it goes the bourbons and the whiskeys and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a raging alcoholic, but I just love to go down and like just pick a bottle I've never seen before, never had before. Maybe I've heard about it or whatever. And just, you know what? That thing, you're coming home with me. You know what I mean?
Nah, man. Like, look, I have
but there's something about bourbon with it. You know what I mean? It's just like,
oh yeah.
Hence why you have probably 180 to 200 bottles where you just like, that looks cool, or that sounds good, or I heard good things about that, or whatever it is. And I'm just going to pick it up.
That's it, man. And I have at least a pour every night. And it's not, I mean, I'm not sitting here just like pounding pours or anything, but I appreciate the notes and the taste and the different complexities of this, of whiskey and bourbon so much. It's not about, getting a buzz. It's, for me, I love to smell it. I love to taste it. It's a passion for me. Honestly, I love it. And on, on that Reload podcast, doing porn, we call it, the segment's called Porn on the Podcast. And it's POR apostrophe N for all those that need to know. But no, that's what stemmed a lot of our collection is when you're buying 3 bottles at a time for that segment, and trying different things. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how you can get a bottle that's like $100, right? And then you put it next to a bottle that's $25 and you don't know. The only thing you got to go off of is your nose and your palate. And you're sitting there and you choose the $25 bottle over the $100 one. Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you, man, if you take the labels and the nostalgia away, it's not like Blanton's. You know Blanton's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's like, again, I'm very novice when it comes to the bourbons. I enjoy the experience of bourbon versus everything else that comes with it. I love having a cigar. I love doing some pours and hanging out and bullshitting. Like that's the reason why I love bourbon. But there's one thing that I know, again, very novice, but the one thing I know is, man, like the road to that bourbon you just mentioned, it's like split down the middle where people like swear by it. And then there's some people like, oh, that shit is over fucking rated. You know what I mean?
That's me, dude.
That's you, right?
100%, man. Because when you get a bottle, a little glass of Blanton's and you smell it, it smells divine. It smells so good. But then you taste it and it's like a White Claw of bourbon.
No
like,
way.
Where'd it go? It's like it's like the taste leaves you as fast as they hit your tongue. And
it's just drinking water after that.
Yeah, I mean, like it's to me, it's not the whole package. It's only got the one-sided. Believe me, Blanton's is not terrible. It's just not worth $90 a bottle. I would pay $30 a bottle for it for sure.
Yeah. And that's the greatest thing about marketing too. It's like they, I always when I'm pitching to a client or whatever it is, or I'm just talking marketing, because I always enjoy that kind of stuff. When I always bring up Yeti, like Yeti's the greatest of them all,
man.
Because it all comes down to storytelling, right? And they're the best storytellers in the world, because yeah, there may be product in a shot, but like they're really telling you the story. And you watch a little video clip or a short story, or you see a carousel post of theirs, and you're like, fuck, I could give a shit about the cooler. I just want to go do that thing that they're doing. You know what I mean? It's like,
Same. It's the same thing with the iPhone. When you watch an
yeah,
iPhone commercial, they're not talking about the phone. They're
yeah,
showing you an experience,
yep.
and that's marketing at its best.
Hmm. Okay, so here's my question: top 5 bourbons gotta
Oh,
have on the shelf.
now, okay. Now, are we talking?
I knew you're like, now I need some specifications
I
here.
do, because I mean, like, are we talking like, all right, like obtainable bourbons, or are we talking like
Okay, how about
everyday?
this?
All right.
Give me 5, but then like your 5 can have like, okay, this is like, that great white buffalo that is the hardest thing to find,
Mm-hmm.
and then sprinkle in some like obtainable, should be relatively easy to find.
Okay. All right, man. All right. So I'm gonna say, right off the rip, the Great White Buffalo, for me, it's going to be William LaRue Weller,
Mm.
hands down. Okay.
Oh,
Um.
sorry. Side note.
Yep.
Speaking of overrated stuff, oh fuck, it's
Come on.
the name's escaping. It's like, it's supposedly like the great white buffalo. You guys have had it on the show before.
Talking about George T. Stagg.
No. Uh, Winkle something.
Oh, Rip Van Winkle.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
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 So overrated, not
Overrated.
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 Yeah, it's overrated for me. Because one, the price point. And two,
Yeah,
I've
it's
had it.
over. What is it at? Like,
Well, I mean, if you get secondary, you're talking, you know, $1,000, $2,000 in some cases.
Christ.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and that's another thing about bourbons that I wanted to talk to you about, because I know you guys do this, and we'll get back to your list in a second.
yeah.
But one of the things that I realized quickly, and again, I haven't been in this, but again, learning from your podcast, it's like you got to have like a guy or a gal who works at a shop, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we got this thing coming in. I can only hold it for you for X amount of hours or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, you
So
got to come in and get it before it hits the shelf and the price gets jacked up and whatever.
we have a Brittany, and that's for us. We she treats us fairly. We have to go in her store and spend money
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
regular basis to be on her list of, hey,
yeah.
you want to get something, but
Yeah. It's like when you go to the casino and you're the Sapphire member. It's like, you're there for a reason.
absolutely. You got that diamond membership.
Yeah.
But no, it's
They know me.
it's oh, dude, I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I have walked in that store, and having them know me by name and calling me, oh, Mr. Lickliter,
You're
your
like,
stuff is right here behind the counter, Mr. Lickliter. I'm like, yeah. Look at this. What's up? What's up? Yeah,
that's
I'm
right.
buying that. That's right.
Daddy's home.
You know who I am. Daddy's home. But yeah, so anyways, the Pappy Van Winkle is like, that is supposed to be like the grail of all grail bottles in some people's minds. I think it's completely overrated. And if you want to get a taste of Pappy Van Winkle, go find you a bottle, still kind of hard to get, of Weller Antique 107. Actually, any of the Weller lines, Special Reserve, Antique 107, Foolproof, CYPB, it goes on. That is the same recipe as Pappy Van Winkle. It's just aged in different spots of the rick houses, in a different rick house, different levels, things like that. So Pappy Van Winkle has its own special spot, its own special rick house. That's where they do it. That's where they do the tasting. But over on those other property, they take the same mash bill, same recipe, and they put it in in these barrels, and they have the product Weller. So I've had a 20-year Pappy. It tastes good. Get that out of here. I ain't never buying. I'm never spending that money on that.
Yeah.
We put Pappy Van Winkle up against George T. Stagg, and George T. Stagg crushed it. Now, George T. Stagg it's a white rhino too. It's a hard.
So that's going to be on your
get.
list, yeah.
No, because I'm only gonna put one of those on there.
Okay, all right. Only one Great White Buffalo. And
because here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do your Great White Buffalo. I'm gonna go your special occasion. Hey, I got some friends coming over. I want to impress them. Then I'm gonna do a everyday drinker, and then I'll do like a it's Friday night, and then yeah, that's 4. And then I'll just name another one because I don't know any more cool phrases.
And a wild
But
card.
yeah, the wild card. No, so I William LaRue Weller is that'd be the top of my list. And then
Everybody who's listening and watching, you should grab a pen and a pad of paper right now.
here we go. So William LaRue Weller, if you ever have the opportunity to get one at MSRP, if you can get it under $500, snag it.
Damn.
For sure. I wouldn't spend that.
What's your tipping point where you're like, nah, I can't spend that kind of money?
I'll spend $300 or less. I mean, I love bourbon. I love those. I love it all. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't, man, the most I've ever spent on a bottle of bourbon was $200.
Stacy earmuffs.
Oh no, she has no room.
She was probably the culprit.
The stuff she's walked in my house with has made me wonder if we were going to be able to pay our mortgage. But no, it's so William LaRue is it's just so it's so fantastic. I've never had one that's not. But I digress. If you're wanting to have a bottle and you're bringing some people over, this is one that you can get pretty regularly. It's not allocated by any means. Is going to be Booker's. Booker's. It's hot, but you can always cut that jazz with a little bit of water, which because it's typically going to be about 126 to 130 proof, somewhere in that range. But every Booker's comes out with 1 to 2 different batches every year. And did you know? Quick little side note: Booker's was the competition for Blanton's, because Blanton's was the first small batch bourbon to ever hit the market.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was the first single barrel bourbon to hit, where they said, we're going to take bourbon just from this barrel and we're going to bottle it. So it was, and so what happened is that Booker he decided, well, I gotta compete with this. So he come up with the Booker's batch, and they have all these different blends and that kind of stuff. But it's so much better than Blanton's will ever hope and dream to be. It is so delicious, and if anybody who drinks bourbon, okay, now I'm not a novice, you're gonna blow them out of the water with this. But somebody that loves to drink bourbon, you put any Booker's batch in front of them, they're gonna love it.
That's awesome.
So the third one, this is an everyday drinker. This is one that used to be unheard of, that I found by accident. That now is catching.
Side note: Booker's. My good friend Sean, who was in my wedding, also married us in Breckenridge, Colorado. He brought, when we were all getting suited up, throwing the ties on, he whips out this Booker's in this like wooden case.
Yeah.
Some kind of a special, whatever it was. And man, it was hot, but man, it was good. It was so good. When you said Booker's right off the bat, I was like, yeah, that shit is delicious.
It's fire, dude.
Yeah.
Absolute fire.
Yeah.
The third one on my list would be the everyday drinker. One that's affordable, obtainable, and absolutely delicious, which would be Old Granddad 114.
I remember you guys talking about this on the podcast.
I buy it by the case, man. And it's like, it's going up in price. And right now it's actually on back order because it's gotten so popular.
Because of you guys, obviously.
Yeah, of course of us. That real podcast, just we've set it on fire. But dude, it used to, you could get that bottle for like $21.
Okay. That's fucking a steal.
But now it's probably about $33-ish dollars. Okay. But that's one you keep in the decanter. It will play with the big boys on there. Wow. Every day, all day. It's fantastic. So you can ever find it. It's got a cool wide mouth, bottle on there. I lost my camera, bro. But anyways, it's got a cool wide mouth bottle, and dude, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. If you can get it, grab it. I will say the fourth one on my list, and this is one that's gonna be out of left field, would be Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Now, this is one that hit the scene, I'd say 2 years ago
Okay.
or so. And it is what happened is that Jack Daniels realized that they missed out on the single barrel, small batch bourbon scene. And they came out with this thing. It's a gold label. Now, they have a Jack Daniels single barrel, but the barrel proof is one of the best bourbons I've ever had in my life. Actually, it's not a bourbon; it's a whiskey. Because when Jack Daniels filters it through charcoal after it's been barreled, that's an additive to the bourbon, which turns it to a whiskey. So that's hence the sour. It's the sour mash whiskey. Anyways, It's hot, man. It comes out. Most of them are 126 to about 135 in strength on there on the proofage. It reminds me of cake frosting when I drink it.
What?
Oh, it's sugary and sweet. But it's definitely, it's a very hot bourbon. So you'll want to, if you don't like high proofers, you'll want to throw a little bit of water inside there or some ice cubes to tone it down.
Speaking of like sweet bourbons, Pendleton is something that I had for the first time not that long ago, and I felt like I could have just drank a gallon of that stuff. It was just smooth, not a whole lot of heat, but just the flavor was there. It was delicious.
Dude, that whole distillery is fantastic. They are fire when it comes to everything they make. I love those whiskeys.
You're back. The video's back.
Beautiful. Video's back. We've had a lot of technical difficulties. It's
say the fucking least.
I tell you, man.
We started this pod probably like 45 minutes late because I couldn't hear him. He could hear me. Then his computer took a shit. Now his camera's going out. This is pod. Remember that time we're like, hey, dude, let's start a podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so fun. And then here we are just dealing with so much fucking trash, dude.
Well, hey, man,
it's a good time though. I enjoy these things, man. I really, really do. And you're a proud sponsor of the podcast. Look at that.
That's right, man. We love you guys. We want to help support y'all whenever we can, for sure.
Appreciate that, dude. And again, we've been partnered up for such a long time. It was only and I was like, again, I'm very transparent when this in our podcast in general, but in life as well. But the satellite thing is new to me. I'm trying to, get our reach out, and I realized, I'm like, man, we've been on your pod a couple times, and like, we've never had them on. And obviously in person is always going to be better, but man, I was like, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to bring Joel on. This is a fucking no-brainer. But
yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I noticed. I was never on your podcast.
He like Joel puts out this piece of paper. He's like, I wrote a speech about this. Now that I have your attention.
Yes, sir. No, I'm happy to be here, dude. I mean, you and Paul, you guys are top-notch dudes. You are awesome at your craft and everything that you all do, and I'm just happy to be associated with you guys. 100%.
I appreciate that, dude. And likewise, man, like I said in the beginning of this pod, it's been awesome partnering up with you here for so long, and it doesn't really kind of feel like an official partnership anymore. We're just homies at this
point,
brosifs, brochachos.
That's right.
But before we get off of the bourbon kick, I did want to ask if you had any tips, tricks, kind of I guess kind of like salty veteran moves for people who are trying to get into the bourbon game, and just kind of things to look for, things. Yeah, I'll just leave it off of there. Whatever you got.
Yeah. So here, the thing you're going to want to do is, if you're new to the bourbon game, you're going to want to start with the low proofs, and you want to start with the right low proofs.
So like 150 proof, right?
Absolutely. No water, straight down the gullet.
Just take a hot coal from your barbecue and just down the hatch.
And then just drip 2 drops of whiskey on it, and then you're set. Nah, man. Like for me, it's, if I was going to recommend someone starting off, I'd recommend these 3. I think it would be Buffalo Trace, original Buffalo Trace. It's a 90 proofer. It's really good, man.
Love
And
Buffalo Trace, man. You can't go wrong. It's like one of those bottles where you're like, I'm going to a gathering or a party or whatever, having some friends over. Like, what do I get? Dude, you cannot lose
you
with Buffalo
never.
Trace.
And
Never.
I mean, and that's one of very few, bourbons in the 90s that I really like to drink.
What's your thought on Eagle Rare? Because I like Eagle Rare. What do you
It's
got on?
good. No, it's good, man.
Okay.
I got 3 bottles of it here.
Okay.
It's I remember when Eagle Rare was like $30 a bottle,
What is
and
it now?
oh, it's every bit of $60
Oh
if you can
Lord.
find it for that. My freaking my brother-in-law's got a liter, like probably a 2 liter.
Family size.
Well, it's a limited edition, like 2 liter bottle of
Oh geez.
of Eagle Rare. But no, Eagle Rare is good, dude. That's a heavy hitter for sure.
I like that. Again, I've only had it once or twice, but I'll never forget when I first had it. I was over at the in-laws before they were in-laws. We were just hanging out. We had the old bum fire set up, smoking cigars, and somebody broke out that stuff. I was like, God damn, this is
That's nice.
Yeah, that's
quite
pretty
nice. Good. No, man. So the biggest thing that I would tell people is look for weeded bourbons.
Weeded bourbons. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good tip right there.
A weeded bourbon is going to be sweeter. It's going to be softer. It's not going to burn you out as bad. Like,
okay.
If you don't know what you're getting and you go buy like a rye, for instance, ryes tend to be like a little spicier on the palate, and they got some ryes out there that'll really make you go, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
But I would say look for weeded bourbons, like Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark is a weeded bourbon. Maker's 46 has got a fancy bottle. It looks sexy, looks good on the counter, and it's a little bit pricier than regular Maker's Mark, but it is fantastic. It's a great pour. And last one is a Canadian whiskey.
What? Curveball.
White Law turned me onto this.
Okay. Never heard of that guy. Does he have a handle or anything?
He's really small and not successful at all.
Okay. Never mind.
But no, it's
Kidding, Jeremy. Love you.
It's Caribou Crossing. It's not expensive.
It sounds Canadian as fuck. Throw a caribou in there, and
it's got a caribou on top of the top.
Of course it does. That's great.
But it's a fancy looking bottle, man. It's in like 88 proof, I think is what it is. And it's a smooth, delicious whiskey. So it's not a bourbon, it's a whiskey.
Okay.
But if you're wanting to get into it, that's what I would recommend. And then I would recommend buying a cheap ice mold. Because what used to kill me when I was first getting into it,
talking about the old like golf ball size,
sphere.
They're bigger than a golf ball, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
the spheres.
Yeah, like the ice spheres or the square block ones.
Yep.
But I would get a handful of ice and I'd throw it in there and I'd pour a little bourbon or whiskey on top of it, bro, and the ice would start melting and it would water it down to kill the flavor for me. But those big, thick ice cubes, they'll hang out longer. You put a little pour in there.
Those will be around for a hot minute for sure.
Absolutely. And the last thing I'd recommend is when you get your pour and you're getting into it, get you a tiny bowl of vanilla ice cream. I'm telling you, it's a veteran move. Okay.
Oh man.
You take a bite of vanilla ice cream. It gets your mouth cold. It numbs things up a little bit. It's sweet.
Yeah.
Chase the vanilla ice cream with the bourbon. Oh, come get some. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Like ice cream sandwiches and bourbon is so damn good.
Sign me up, bro.
I'm telling you. But it kind of, the cold kind of, numbs the taste buds a little bit.
Okay. I guess, dude, you had me at ice cream. You can stop talking at any time. You had me at ice cream, bro.
And then, no. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, try that. That's
and then you take your pants off and then
stick it in a carton.
You sick fuck.
You sick man. Sick individual.
That's good shit, dude. That was good bourbon talk. I enjoyed that. Oh, before we just totally jump off, the difference between, settle it right now, bourbon and whiskey. We all use it, especially I do. We use it interchangeably, and probably more times than not it's incorrect. Like what do we got as the definitive
So
division.
the whole saying is all bourbons are whiskey, but not all whiskeys are bourbon.
There you go. Ancient wives'
So
tale there.
bourbon has to be made of at least 3 grains, which would be wheat, corn, rye, or barley. It's got to be made with at least 3 of those. Okay. It's got to be. There used to be an old saying that it had to be made in Kentucky. That's not true. Yeah.
Got to be Tennessee, or it ain't fucking bourbon.
Yeah, but it has to be stored in new white oak charred barrels. So so what you can do is, but that has the bourbon has to be finished in one of those. You can't have anything added to it. So you have your mash. What you have when you make the mash bill, and it all bubbles up and all that jazz, and they filter it through, it comes out clear like moonshine. Well, what gives it the color is the barrel. That's how bourbon turns the color it is, because they char the barrel, and the wood and the char leaches into the bourbon over time. That's how it becomes the color that you see.
Interesting.
Typically, the darker the bourbon, the older it is.
Like the longer it's been in the barrel.
Longer it's been sitting in wood.
Got it.
But with whiskey, the reason whiskeys can't be bourbons is because, like Jack Daniels, for instance, they add the charcoal flavor to it, after it comes out of the barrel. So
they're cheaters.
They're cheater pumpkin eaters. Now, they're getting a little lax with this. Angel's Envy. If you heard of that place, yeah. They put a petition out, and Maker's Mark does it too now, where they can finish bourbon. So it comes out of the barrel. Oh, and it has to be aged at least 2 years to be a bourbon. So there's kind of your rules, and I'm sure I missed something in there, so don't burn me on that.
It's a good start.
Yeah. So you can't add anything to the recipe outside of your levels of grain that you put in there. You can't add any flavor additives outside of that. So the barrel and in your recipe has to be, that's it. But once it comes out of the barrel, the new law is now that you can put it in another barrel and finish it in that, and it's still considered bourbon. So if you see a bottle of bourbon that says sherry cask finish, it wasn't aged in that. It was aged the proper amount of time in a new white oak barrel, charred barrel, but then they took it out and poured it in a sherry cask barrel to get some more flavors. Maker's Mark will do has a private selection to their line of bourbons. Or what they do is they go through and you pick out different staves of wood. So all that you can get, like maple or whatever. I don't know trees, but they can get all these different wood, different staves of wood and they have them hanging in the barrels. So they take their 2-year-old or 4-year-old bourbon and they pour it into this barrel. It's got these different staves that have been cut and notched in certain ways, and they leave it in there for 9 months, and it pulls out more flavors than it would out of just a regular barrel. So they do. You can finish bourbon, but you cannot add anything to the recipe. The whiskeys, you can do put whatever you want in there, and you can spit in it.
Wild West with whiskey.
Yep, it sure is.
That's awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for that tutorial. I feel like I went to school just now.
I'm not good at telling a short story, man. I'm not. I
just talked 3 hours about bourbon.
You're gonna have to cut me off, homie.
Well, before we get into the next topic, I am going to do another pour. However, I'm going to have you pick. Okay, so I've got. Let me know if any of these ring a bell. We just talked about Maker's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Jefferson's. I don't know if you've ever had this.
I got 3 bottles of it.
Okay, you got Jefferson's, got Sister Dale, and I've got 1792.
1792. Pour it.
Pour it. All right.
Yeah, I will say
I do have, and you didn't bring this up at all, and I'm questioning if it's hype or not. But the Smoke Wagon.
Oh, that's a good pour, dude.
Okay, I have never had it. A buddy of mine, he sent me this. He said it's hard to get your hands on, at least where he was. He's out in Alabama. Yeah. And he sent me this. I have not broken the seal on it yet.
And that's a solid pour right there. That's what
I hear.
I would put that one in my top 30.
Top 30?
Top 30, yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious that you have a 30 top 30. When you've got 200 bottles, I guess you can do a top 30.
Yeah,
All right, so here we go.
maybe
Small
top 15.
batch, 1792.
I love the 1792.
This is the 93.7 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey.
Hey man, that's good stuff.
That's good stuff right here.
I'm telling you, dudes. 1792 sweet wheat and 1792 full proof is very tasty. Atta boy.
Barely a pour right there.
That's a finger.
That's a finger. See, I'm a 2.5, 3 finger guy.
Yeah. We're on the same page, homie.
Yeah.
All right, so hang on. Let me fit down the rest of this.
All right,
and then
do your thing.
I'm gonna get my second pour.
Do your thing. All right, here we go. Again, my buddy Sean, the one who brought out the Bookers, he's the one who's got me the Jefferson, and he's also the one who got me the 1792.
Man,
he knows his things apparently.
You got your good friend right here. So I'm busting out this one right here. Now, this is the best Irish whiskey I've ever had in my entire life. It's 12 year aged yellow spot. Okay. And you would think
related.
Well, they are same distillery and everything.
Okay.
They taste nothing alike.
Wow.
Nothing alike. This one's like honeysuckles in the sunshine. All right, here we go.
Man, maybe it's just Joel, or maybe it's just a Tennessee thing, but just beautiful at just painting pictures with their words. You know what I
mean? That's my gift, buddy. Okay,
yeah, okay, that's a Joel thing. Okay. Give credit when credit's due. I got it. Well, while we're not,
let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you getting out of that aside from sunshine? What are you getting out of that?
Hang on.
Yeah. You got to do the sniff before you do anything? Do you give it a whirl before you do anything? What do you do?
You don't slosh it around.
Okay.
But don't
do what I just did. Fantastic.
This is not a good sniffing glass. Okay. Neither is what you got. You want something that's got like a good neck to it that forces the aromas up out of the
almost
like
glass. Kind of like pinching it off a little bit.
Glencairn is the ultimate tasting glass. But you take your glass and you can roll it. You roll it around because when you shake it, it pushes the alcohol forward to the top of the glass. So your nose gets all burned up, but you can roll it around and kind of express those notes, give it a good sniff. When you smell, it seems so freaking stupid. Okay. Yeah. But when you smell, leave your mouth open.
Okay. Yeah. It's not as harsh.
Yeah. And you want your nose to, well, see, I'm going to send you one of our glasses. All it's right. It's a That Reload podcast. Here it is right here. This is the glass right here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Glencairn. So
all right.
I'll send you one of these. So
send me a
if proper
you can. If you got glass. 2 of them, we'll buy them. But if you got 2 of them, so Paul doesn't get left out,
I'll send you 2 of them. Okay. Right. They are, we've got them, but I'll send them over to you. That's the perfect one. And you don't, Jeremy always makes fun of me because I bury my nose in it. But properly, you want to hang your nose just above the rim, give it a good sniff, and then you taste, because then you're getting all the elements.
Yeah. That makes sense. Everything you're saying makes sense. Yeah.
It's like sweet honey, man. That's so good. What's funny is, dude, someone else would try this who doesn't drink whiskey and would get burnt out by that. But like I've had so much. Anyways.
Yeah.
All these topics you're talking about today is making me look like a giant ass nerd. Is what it's doing.
What is?
The bourbon talk.
Yeah. I know. Everyone's gonna be like, this fucking nerd.
Look at this douchebag. Thinks he's like so sophisticated. This country ass from Tennessee.
No. I think our demographic is like the 25 to like 40-year-old. So you're fine. Most of those guys and gals are into this kind of shit anyway.
Let's go.
But anyway, so one of the things while you're not counting your bottles and throwing down God's nectar, you're also making some badass rub and seasoning.
Yes.
Talk to me about how your company, how it all started. I've got a pretty good idea, and I remember when we first started talking, hearing this story, but I know a lot of people probably don't know how those things get started. Just starting your own business, especially in rub and seasoning, because let's be honest, like that's a very saturated market, right? But you guys find a way to separate yourselves somehow. So if you could just like kind of dive in a little bit on all of that good stuff with Reload.
For sure, man. And don't be afraid to cut me off because this can be. I'm gonna try to make this a short story, not a novel like I've been doing the whole night. So I'm a steel man by trade. That's what my family's business was been. I've always been in the steel industry. My wife was a registered nurse by trade, and that's what we did. It was our respective jobs. Well, we mentioned earlier in the podcast about the home cooking hunter. Well, during that time period, man, we were having fun. We were making videos. We were cooking and everything like that. And Stacy convinced me to one night she's just like, let's go in the kitchen and make our own. Let's make our own little seasoning. And I'm like, no, I didn't want to do it, man. I'm like, people were sending me seasoning all the time. Yeah. It's like, why do I don't want to make my own? But I like to make my wife happy. So I did it. We went in there, we drank beer. Yeah, we hung out. We poured stuff in bowls. We were tasting, drinking beer. We had a great time. And we came up with this. We finally hit it. That's it. This is the one. And we called it HCH, Home Cooking Hunter Redneck Rub. But I had zero intentions of ever selling this stuff.
Yeah.
But we got to the point, bro, where we couldn't keep up with friends and family anymore.
Wow. Yeah. So that's kind of how it started, where you're just like giving it out or like kind of selling it on the low to like friends and family.
Not even selling it, never selling
just giving it out.
Yeah. But we got to the point where I was buying Tupperware bins. My wife's parents would go to the Amish country, and we were buying Tupperware bins full of just raw spices and mixing up little jars, little vacuum jars and whatnot to just hand out for Christmas presents. But people kept begging for more. And I was a buddy of mine out of New York. He had a company called Jerky Gold Marinade. Mm-hmm. And his name was Matt Parks. Great man. I sent him some just as a gift. And he called me and said, "Did you make that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "That is the best seasoning I've ever had." He said, "It's the most savory, best seasoning I've ever had." He said, "If you don't sell this," he goes, "you're effing stupid." And I'm like, okay. So that made me think, dude. I was like,
especially someone coming from like a very reputable background, right?
Somebody who enjoys food,
yeah,
and knows the business. So anyways, me and Stacy, we were looking at each other like, do we want to do this? Yeah. Do we want to go down this road? We just had a little boy, he had one kid at the time. And so do we want to go down this road? And we prayed about it. We talked about it, and finally we're like, screw it, man. What's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work, you know? And we can say we tried. So we sat for a couple of weeks just trying to think of a name for this stuff. And
that's the hardest part. It's the hardest part, dude.
Bro, we had 100 names on
do you remember? I'm putting you on the spot. Like, but do you remember like one of the worst names you guys had come up with?
The worst and the best.
Okay, go for
it was Dusty Mustache.
Dude, that's not bad.
Hey, if y'all are listening and you want to get a seasoning biz, there you go. That's a free one.
There you go. Dusty Mustache. I like that.
It was Dusty Mustache. And but we even had like Fireside, but none of it screamed us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I remember sitting on the couch and I was just in my head and I was, praying a little bit, and me and her were just so tired of trying to come up with a name for this company. And then Reload just popped in my head, and I said it to her, and then she looked at me and she's like, "That's really good." And then we sat on it for a few days and finally we're like, "This is it. Let's go. Let's Reload." Yeah. And through that process, dude, of coming up with Reload Rub and Seasoning, and to backtrack real quick, the blend, Home Cooking Hunters Redneck Rub is fully loaded. That's the blend that today, our all-purpose blend that can literally go on anything.
And to be fair, a lot of your seasonings, again, I'm a caveman, but like I right now, like diet wise, I'm eating a lot of meat, a lot of fruit, and I'll do salmon. Forever I was doing your double action, right?
That's great on it.
It's great on fish, but if you have never tried this, and one of your newest blends, it's somewhat new, is the Magnum blend.
Mm-hmm.
I put Magnum on my salmon now. Oh, dude, no, not blowing smoke, man. That is
It's a
so fucking
game
good.
changer.
It really is, man.
And
I love that shit.
I'll get into some nuances because I'd really like to tell people like some ins and outs and trying to break some trends in the seasoning and
I'd
rub.
love that. I'd love for you to
'Cause-
dive into that kind of stuff. This is what podcasting is about. You bring on somebody who's an expert in the field, and you get to hear the backstory. So let's hear it.
Absolutely, for sure. So, wrapping up the origin story here.
Yeah.
The one thing we wanted to do with this company is, and I think the reason that God put reload in my brain at that moment was the motto of our company is to reload into other people, is to give back. And we've always, my family, me and my kids, we don't eat in front of the TV. Now we may have like a movie night or something like that. You get some pizza, things like that. But our meals are around the kitchen table, and phones are gone, distractions are gone. And I want to know how their day was. I want to know how my wife's day was, and I want to look at them in the eye, and hear them talk to me. I want to know that they're okay, And I think in society we've lost that with technology, with everything we have. Yeah. And we've lost that connection. Some of the greatest decisions ever made in history was around a table of food.
With maybe a glass of bourbon.
Yes, that's right. Meat or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
But and I want to get back to that. I want people to get back to talking to each other more and not texting all the time. And, whether it's, your wife or a best friend, or someone you haven't seen in a long time, guess what? What do you do? Hey, let's go grab a beer and have something, get a bite to eat. That's what you do, and creating that connection is what we wanted to make that easy for people. But if you can bring a chicken breast up to temperature, if you can bring a steak up to the proper temperature, guess what? We're going to make it taste badass.
Yeah.
Because there's so many companies out there that and I'm not going to name names or anything like that.
I'll call out some names. Flavor God. I see Flavor God all the time. It is absolute dog shit. Shit. And I've got living proof. And I think she listens to this podcast. Her name is Ashley. She's out. She's out. I won't give her out her fucking coordinates, but but she grew up with my wife, and she's great. She's super into fitness. She's one of those, boss bitch super moms, and she's super into food prepping, and she's always on her story showing, and I give her shit all the time. She's throwing Flavor God around, and I'm like, dude, do yourself a favor. And she's like, okay, I'll use your code, I'll do it. And then I sent the screenshot of that conversation to Stacy, and she's like, no, I'm just gonna send her some shit. And then a couple weeks go by, she's like, damn, you were right.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Throw that shit out, dude. It's reload for life. Come on now.
When we first got into this business and we were shopping co-packers, shopping a company to take our recipe and bottle it for us, every single one of them goes, well, if you take this out or use this cheaper, ingredient,
it's always a shortcut, right?
Yeah, then we can save you some money. And we're like, nah, because then that's not us. That's not our stuff. Because every single blend that we have, I'm pointing at bottles right here that you all can't see. Every single blend that we have made ourselves in our kitchen.
Yeah,
majority of them, Stacy. but but that's every single one. We've come up with the recipe. We send it off to our co-packer and we said, make this. And then we play the cat and mouse game of, they send us a sample. We taste it. No, you need to change this, because the thing is with the co-packer is that their ingredients are way more fresh than the things you go get off the store shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And so that when you're going to have a flavor boost when you get something back from a co-packer, so you may have to bring things down a notch, but a lot of companies out there, buddy, they have fillers. They do. You look on the ingredients on the back of a bottle right here. So when you got a bottle, you look on the back of the ingredients, how it typically goes. The first ingredient that you see, that is what is the most prevalent ingredient in the bottle. So if sugar is the first thing you see, there's more sugar than anything else in your seasoning. If salt is the first thing you see, it's more prevalent than anything else.
Whatever you see first is usually going to mean that's got the most of it in there.
That's it. So you want to look at those ingredients when you grab a bottle, because that's going to show you in order what's in there. And also, like, so you'll see on a bottle too, they'll have anti-caking agents that are inside your blends. A lot of them say sodium dioxide. You're putting an artificial substance into your body. We didn't want that. So we use rice hulls. They ground up rice hulls in our blends to keep it from caking. No sodium dioxides in our blends. So we try to keep our stuff as natural as possible. We accidentally make our blends low sodium. I guess we don't like a ton of salt. It was not on purpose.
I mean, you don't need it, man. I'm telling you, all your blends, like all of them, pack a great punch of flavor. They really do. And again, I'm not trying to suck off Joel here.
I wish you would, first started, buddy. Keep going.
When we first started working together, I was like, well, and I don't know if I've even verbalized this. It was actually Gerard who was the one who sent me, when you first started looking for ambassadors and partnerships. Gerard, who is also an ambassador of yours, sent me the link to this stuff. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Sure, why not? Like, I'm not like some grill master by any means, which a lot of the people that you
guy.
What's that?
You're into fitness. You're into staying in shape. You care about what goes into your body.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like this bourbon. I care about this bourbon.
I'm glad you do. That's an American thing right there. But no, man, it's our blends are low sodium, they're gluten-free, and they got no MSG in it.
Yeah.
And that's one dude, I'm telling you.
The MSG is like huge, man. You look at other seasonings, they're littered with them.
And I'm telling you, Matt Parks with Jerky Gold, that was one of the things that he goes, how much MSG are you using? And I'm like, none. He goes, that's impossible. It's too damn savory. And
don't you lie to me.
Don't lie to my face. But it's we love food, and we love to bring big flavors. That's something that is just ingrained in me and Stacy.
Yeah.
And so if we put something out, it's going to be a heavy hitter every single time. We're not going to skimp on it. Yeah. I don't care if the price is more, because I know I got the best possible stuff in here, for my customers. But that's it, dude. That's it, awesome. far as life. But I do want to, if we can, whenever you work it in, this is your show, I do want to break some. I want to break some trends and shed some light.
Yeah. Do that. Do that.
Do it now. All right.
Go for it.
So, I want people to, we went through the seasoning stuff. We went through the ingredients, looking through that. But a lot of times people will look at a bottle of seasoning and they'll go, oh man, that one's $10. And it looks like a bottle like this. Okay. And then they'll see another bottle, and it will be, $5.99. And, I'm going to get that one. It's cheaper. But what you have to look at is right here at the bottom, the ounces. So when they fill, it's called a fill weight. So when they fill up a bottle of seasoning, they fill up, they weigh it and all that jazz. So when you look at price per ounces, I do that jazz when I'm buying beer, bro. If I'm buying beer, I look at a sale. I'm like, all right, how many ounces is this? Versus how many ounces is this? Okay, this is the best deal for the ounce. Get more beer. Get more beer here. Same thing with seasoning. If you look at the ounces, we are, even though there's some companies out there that seem less expensive than us. If you look at the price per ounce, we are less expensive than, I would say, 70%, 60 to 70% of most companies out there.
And it's made with legit ingredients.
And it's made with the best stuff, bro. Like sea salt. We use sea salt in everything. The only thing we don't use sea salt in is Magnum and Full Metal Jacket, because those are our heavy chop blends. Big coarse grains.
Yeah. Yeah.
maximum flavor. I'm talking like when you're cooking your tomahawk or your
That's
big.
so funny, dude. Those are my two faves right now. I love doing Full Metal Jacket on eggs. Oh god,
It's
so
a
good,
game
dude.
changer, dude. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, man. And that's the other trend I want to talk about. People feel, and I can't stand it. They're like, well, what's this seasoning? What's this seasoning for? Food. It's for food. You know, if anything you want to put it on.
Yeah.
Just because, like, so we have a bagel blend.
Yeah.
It's ballistic. Our blend ballistic
Good
is
shit.
our everyday bagel blend. It's
Yep.
the best bagel blend you're ever gonna get. We use 2 different types of poppy seeds in it, and we got chili flake. It's fantastic.
It is
But
fantastic. Another great one for eggs.
yes, it's not just for bagels.
No.
It's called everything bagel blend,
Yeah.
or everyday bagel blend. But you can put it on ahi tuna. You can do some beef short ribs and a little bit of rice, a little Asian stir fry type action. Throw that jazz on top. I mean, so you don't limit yourself when you're buying seasonings. That's a marketing ploy. Now, there are some stuff out there. There are blends like seafood blends and fish blends and things like that that lend more towards different proteins. Okay. But overall, like, my sweet and smoky barbecue blend double action, it's a barbecue blend and you're putting it on fish, you're putting it on salmon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't limit.
Dude, I put it on salad, bro.
Yeah. Popcorn. Have you done it on popcorn?
Yes. Popcorn is so good.
Oh, it's good, bro.
Yeah.
But don't limit yourself when you're buying a seasoning and going, well, I can only put this on chicken.
Yeah.
No. If you feel the flavor profiles and decide, I think it'll taste good on this. Yeah. And just do it. Don't feel like you're blocked from putting it on something else just because it says that's what it's for, man. So all of our blends are geared that way. All of our blends are not designed to say you can only put it on this. It's just, this is a high caliber, what I've been showing you. That's a Chipotle garlic blend. If you like Chipotle garlic, put it on anything that you want to taste like Chipotle garlic. Yeah. And eat it because it's delicious.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So
that's good shit.
Yeah, man. And that's, in a nutshell, that's it, dude.
Now, do you go with the, I've never been a big believer of this. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong. Maybe I've just never done it right. I don't know. Is the pairing certain proteins with beverages?
Yeah. I mean, like, that's not a huge thing with me and Stacy because we love bourbon. But yeah, I mean,
don't say.
Yeah, I mean, like, we used to be winos. All right. So okay. We were into that for a time period. Game of Thrones, when that was a big thing. The cheese board, the charcuterie board, and the red wine was strong in the Lickliter household. But no, not really, man. Like, I don't.
Is there certain bourbons that go with it, or is it typically wine with protein?
No, beer. Like, I don't particularly. Yes, a lot of guys you'll see on there, they'll have bourbon with their meal. Okay, that's just not me, dude. I'm a glass of milk guy. Like, if I'm eating a like a nice fillet. Like if I'm eating a prime fillet from like Haltman Family Meats or something like that.
Shout out.
Yeah. If I'm eating something like that, then yeah, I might crack a nice red wine. I think red wine and white wine is, if you're going to pair food with anything, those are the two that I would love to go with. I've done beer tastings and stuff with food, and it's good, whatnot. And I get it. But I think overall, there's not like, white wine with fish, white wine with chicken, white wine with like a pork chop or something. Any red meat that you're eating, a nice red wine is really accents the flavors in that. Because depending on the wine that you pick, it's going to like, let's say Magnum, for instance. That's coarse. It's got those it's got the kosher salt in it, heavy flaked kosher salt in it, a little bit of spice. And that wine is going to take all that flavor and that beefiness of that filet, and it's going to accentuate all those little notes that come through it. Yeah. And so like I said, I'm not a food drink pairing guy.
Okay.
Like I prefer to eat my meal and then sit back and enjoy the notes of the drink. That's that's me. Now
I'm the same way. I hate drinking and eating at the same time. I hate it.
the only thing I like to do when I is drinking and eating is when I'm like slamming beers and hot wings.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's completely different ball game. Completely different scenario.
That's on a whole other spectrum, homie.
Like, shout out the hot wings, by the way, man. Like that. Like, if I'm just in the mood for something quick and easy, dude, I'm ordering a basket of wings, no question. Nine out of 10 times.
So that wings is something else that I'm a snot about.
Oh shit.
Well, because man, we won a golden ticket to the World Food Competition by winning Big Kahuna Wing Fest here in East Tennessee.
That's right. What was that? That was like right before COVID, right?
Yeah, dude. That's 2019. I got the trophy on the wall over here. But no, like we're snotty about our wings and we're snotty about our steaks and all that stuff because if I can make it better at home, I'm not, when I go out, it better be that good. But the one wing that is like kryptonite for me that I don't replicate it, but it's Hooters wings, bro. Hooters fried wings, man. Their breaded wings are like I mean,
are you sure it's the wing? Are you sure?
It's not the titties, it's the wings. I'm telling you, man. We went there probably 2 weeks ago.
It's the marketing. Take the label off. Take the label off.
Man, we went there with our family. With me and Stacy and the kids. We went there. And I mean, I had not had it in probably about 6 months. And now it's all I can think about. I've asked her every other day, can we go back to Hooters? And she goes, my birthday's at the end of April, and she goes, what do you want to do for your birthday? I said, I want to Hooters wings, and I want a turkey hunt. That's the two things I want to do.
There you go.
So.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna do another pour, man.
Right.
I guess the only other one, I'm gonna do the Jefferson.
That man, which one is it? Jefferson's Ocean?
Very small batch blend of straight bourbon whiskey. That's all it's telling me.
That's their OG. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I love they got the old Jefferson on the back. You can't really see it, but
yeah, man, that's a good that's a good bottle. Like I like the flavor of Jefferson's Ocean. I don't like the price point. Ooh, that's
I don't
good
like the price point. I don't know what again, this was a gift, so I don't know what it's at.
Well, we did a porn on the podcast with it, and it was all blind, and we all liked it, but then we found out how much Stacy paid for all those. It's like, good God.
Hey, it's a write-off though, right?
Write-off. That is a silver lining, brother. Right there.
That is. I pretty much try to write off almost everything I do in my daily life.
Taking a piss, write it off.
Write it off. I had to travel. I thought about work, so therefore it's a write-off.
Yep. I thought about. Isn't that the thing, man? It's like, hey, I'm going out to eat. It's a write-off. But hey, reload. Me and Stacey have many reload meetings at bars.
Oh yeah, as you should.
We get that date night, and it's a reload write-off.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah. Gas tank, dude. Every time I fill up the gas tank, and I don't try to fill it up very often these days, but it's all write-offs, man. Everything's a write-off. I made a hilarious TikTok that I guess I only thought was funny because it didn't do very well on TikTok, but it was a sound of like, hey, are you new here? And the person says, yeah. And it was pretty much me being a Californian. It's like California looking at other people complaining about gas prices. Like, are you new here? Because California,
because California's been sitting at this price point for like a decade.
Exactly. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like what we're seeing right now is
it's a sensitive topic right now, buddy. Okay. But
yeah. I saw somebody in LA post a picture and it was like $7.50 a gallon.
Good night. Are you kidding me? That's heading down the pipe, buddy. But
yeah, it's interesting.
One of my favorite TikToks that you ever did was when you were sitting at your desk, I believe, and you were like, it said masturbation
Oh, yeah.
Gives you a longer life expectancy, and then you're like in
That
a
was a good one.
desolate wasteland drinking. You're like, yep, I'm here.
That was a good one, man. And that is funny. That's when I first started my TikTok. So it got like very little traction. But that was a
Here,
good. Maybe I'll recreate that one to see if I can get a little more traction on that one. But that was a
you
good one.
should.
Yeah, like my
I
backdrop
enjoy
was like literally like the plague had hit, and I'm just like chilling by myself.
Yes, yes. I enjoy your stuff so much, man.
Yeah, it
So
was.
good.
It has shown that masturbation will extend your life by
Yeah, yeah.
2,000 whatever days.
3023. Here I am.
Yeah, the year is 3,053.
Still jerking off.
Still jerking off. Still haven't seen anybody else. I enjoy it, man. It's so
It's a
funny.
fountain of youth.
And as well as anybody, I've been talking shit about TikTok forever. You go back in episodes of our podcast, and I'm just dragging that platform through the mud. And don't get me wrong, there's still people that just irk the shit out of me of how they use that platform. But man, there are so many different ways to create reach and engagement in ways that are truly yourself instead of just acting like an idiot and dancing in front of your camera. There's so many different ways to do that now.
When TikTok first came out, they did it to a bunch of people, but they reached out to me and they wanted me to be like a VIP influencer. Did you get that?
No, but dude, that's so funny, dude. That's so wild you say this. And I want you to finish your story, but I remember this one girl. She was like a kind of cute country girl, but like a little too country. Like she had her like Confederate flag waving around and stuff like that. But I'll just, for whatever reason, I vividly remember her on one of her stories talking about TikTok. Like, guys, go follow me on TikTok. And you saw like their cheesy little TikTok emblem logo. And I'm like, oh, that shit will never be a thing.
No, dude, I know.
And then here we are, dude. Here we are. It's literally it's lurking over Instagram as we speak. But anyway,
I'm telling you, man. I mean,
tell me your story. That's so funny that they reached out to you. That's awesome, dude.
Well, it was awesome, but I looked at the page and I'm like, this is stupid. I'm a food guy. I'm not dancing in front of my chicken. You know what I mean? Or my deer meat.
Come on, man.
That's all I saw. With these people like, well,
that's what it was all about at the time. I feel like it was only like fucking stupid dancing.
And that's my problem too, is, and what I've realized is when something new comes out, you got to jump on it till it doesn't work.
Yes.
Because you never know when it's going to catch fire.
The same thing goes with upgrades to platforms. Like if Instagram drops a certain thing, a certain feature, jump on it. Jump on it. If you're trying to grow. If you don't give a shit, don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm very close to that point on Instagram where I just really don't give a fuck about anything anymore.
Well, I mean, I guess we don't need to go down this total rabbit hole, but Instagram in itself is just a giant shit show.
Oh, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
It's almost a waste of time.
It's become Facebook. And I remember when Instagram showed up,
because Facebook bought it.
And people were like, oh, well, fuck you, Facebook. We're going to Instagram now. And now TikTok's here and everyone's starting to be like, well, fuck you, Instagram. I'm going to TikTok. And then there's going to be something else that pops up in who knows how many years, but
I'll be 50 or something like that.
Yeah. I'll be probably 75 years old and I won't give a shit at the time. But
doing reels. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing a reel on Jimmy Jack Snack Pack app. Whatever the fuck it's going to be called. But yeah, it's Instagram has become a terrible thing. And from a marketing standpoint, I just don't understand. And I know everything's a business and whatnot, but like, I just don't understand why you would want to. I guess the biggest problem that a lot of people have with Instagram is that your reach and engagement to people is just put in this stranglehold. And I get it. They want you to pay for that. Well, guess what? A lot of people aren't going to pay for that. So what you're doing is you're just turning people off from using your app. That's what's happening. People are deleting their Instagrams, especially over the censorship stuff that's been happening. And just, again, they're going TikTok. You can get a couple of videos to pop off and you're going to have, if not more of a following, at least meet your following on Instagram over at TikTok. It's man, I've got like 16,700 followers or something like that on Instagram. I'm already at almost 8,000 on TikTok, and I've been doing this for less than a year. So
Right.
I've had a couple videos pop off, and before you know it, people are just following like crazy. And that's the nice thing. What I think people really do enjoy about TikTok is that the stranglehold.
Right.
Again, they're always changing their algorithm right now, which I'm describing TikTok. But you can, again, your reach and engagement can just blast Instagram out of the water at this point. And I think, the Chinese, I think they know that. China. The China virus from China. But like I'm saying, like, I think they know that, and I think they're not going to change that until they really got their claws hooked in. But again, I think Instagram again is, don't get me wrong, there's always going to be a place for it. Maybe, I don't know, at least in the upcoming years. But I think TikTok, or I'm sorry, I think Instagram has finally met its match. And I think I saw that they're trying to test out bringing back the chronological feed.
Yeah.
So instead of which, I mean, people
that's
were
where they were from
about
the
this
start, dude.
Yeah, that's the way it was when the app first started.
I don't want to see someone's post from 3 days ago.
Popped up.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Amen. Let's go.
Yeah. So they're testing it back out. I'm like, what's there to test, dude?
Just
like,
do
that's
it.
Your entire community, or I'd say the vast majority of your community, has been just pleading you to go back to this for years and years and years.
Yeah, man.
And so apparently it's supposed to happen this year. It hasn't happened yet, but
that'll be a game changer, though. Absolutely.
Going back to chronological with
yeah.
with the amount of followers you can have and whatnot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if that makes a difference. Because right now their algorithm is like, if they don't like you, and again, with the censorship stuff that's happened.
This guy, like, I'm telling you, with reloading
did you get crushed by that or what?
Oh, absolutely, dude. I've been shadow banned so many times. I'll have, when I actually start making.
Which is funny because you never went like political.
No, but I have, it's this reload. I'll have reload in there. They don't like anything to do with hunting or those kind of things.
Second Amendment or anything.
None of that jazz. So like when I post about, fully loaded or Magnum, anything that has to do with tactical crap, bro, it happened. I go from getting, so I don't, I backed off for a while because I got burnt on that jazz. It's like I'm post, nothing. And I get back into it and I'm getting, some good traction. And all of a sudden it's like ghost. I got to put in a ticket. Got to go through that rigmarole, all that jazz. But whatever, man, it is what it is. Just got to trudge along. This is where we are in society. Putting out a commercial on the radio or a newspaper ad, a thing of the past, this is your marketing. This is what you do.
Yeah. I even will make a bold statement and say billboards should be getting phased out here pretty soon. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I'm doing some bro science here. I've never driven by a billboard and be like, oh, I'm gonna look those people up, or I'm gonna call that number. I've never done that in my entire life. Maybe I'm a minority in that, but I don't see that. And again, if billboard space wasn't so competitive and expensive, maybe it's a different story, but it is. I don't know if you ever looked into that, but it is very expensive.
Oh, bro, we with my family steel company, we did it a few times, and you're talking like $1,800, $2,000 a month.
Yeah, a month.
Just to hang a freaking billboard up.
Yeah, just to hang your logo up and your website or a number or whatever it is.
And I don't know if that's dropped now because of how marketing is.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, man, it's as far as you haven't called a number, you just haven't seen something you needed to call yet.
Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that is actually a good thing on my part.
You haven't been in that accident where you got to call that injury lawyer.
Yeah. You have 7 DUIs? Call this number.
Marcos Garza Law Firm.
Yeah. 777 Accidente.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Maybe I'm just not that guy. Maybe that guy. I'll ask Paul, see if he's done it. You laughed.
I did.
Part of it. You're part of it.
There it is.
Talk to me talk to me about, I don't want to jump off a reload quite yet, but
Sure.
talk to me about when, and your business has been live for what?
5 years.
Like truly been like, hey, we're a legit business. We're not giving shit out to friends and family anymore. Like we're selling this shit. We've got a website. How long has it been?
5 years coming up in July.
Damn, only
July be our
5 years, dude.
That's it, dude. I'm telling you,
Man, that's awesome growth,
Stacy's a
dude.
grinder, dude. She freaking
Yeah.
gets after it.
Yeah, she
Like,
does.
you
She
know,
does everything, right? She does all the socials. She does all that kind of stuff, right?
she is, you know. I mean, like it's she's the backbone, 100%, man. Like, you know, we're a team. Don't get me wrong.
It's so nice to have like a supportive spouse like that, where, it's like, hey, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna fucking go for it. We're going.
But that's the
all
thing,
in.
dude. It's like this wasn't me going, I want to start a seasoning company.
Yeah.
It was
This wasn't like your dream for 20 years, like it kind of
No.
just fell in your lap.
It
And
did.
she looked at you and like, hey, are we gonna do this or what?
100%. It was a we thing,
Yeah.
and she embraced it 100%. And it, she's just a boss lady. That's
awesome.
it. A boss, badass lady is what she is.
That's awesome. So it's been 5 years,
Mhm.
and so obviously you had to work through the pandemic, whatever.
Mhm.
How did that affect your business going into? Because that crushed a lot of small businesses.
It
How
blew us
did you
up.
guys swivel and adapt to that?
We didn't really have to
That's
a
awesome.
whole bunch. It blew us up because when you got a bunch of people that are sitting at home and they're going and they can't go to a restaurant, they're getting their groceries delivered, and they're all of a sudden people that weren't cooking at home are now cooking at home. Guess what? They need some seasoning.
Yeah.
And it was so for us with Reload, what we would have thought would have been a scary time for us too, which was a terrible time for a lot of companies. We had some of our best months. Now, the kicker is every year, the 2 years outside of that, not one single year since Reload has started have we had a month where we have not beaten the previous year's month. We grow every single year, and we look at those analytics, and we look at those numbers, and every single year we have a month like, January this year, we kicked January last year's ass. January of last year, we kicked 2020's ass, which is saying something, because
that says so much. Yeah.
Because we have found once people get our product, once they get our stuff, that's when they are hooked from there.
Yeah. Because why would you? Again, like, not trying to blow smoke by any means, but it's like anytime, it's like one of the one things as, a quote unquote, influence or whatever, it's the one thing that I am so confident about at any product that I've ever pushed, where people are like, well, am I going to like it? It's like, dude, just buy it, or I'll fucking send you some, and then you tell me. Because it's never ever been, I don't know, it wasn't my thing. Like, you're bullshitting. There's no way. There's no way. And it's true. Like, any person that's ever been like, oh, tell me about that Reload stuff. It's like, dude, I don't have to tell you shit about it. Just buy it, and you'll know exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about, dude.
That's it, dude. And I try to be humble about it, but I'm so proud of what we've created. I'm so proud of
being humble, man. And I appreciate where you're coming from, but dude, like, when you put in the work like you have and grinded things through and last this pandemic, sorry.
I'm ready to go.
Slip of the tongue there. But battle these adversities, definitely in a small business, as a small business, and to see the growth that you guys have had, like, dude, toot your horn, man. Like, because you should be able to celebrate those victories. I think not a lot of people do.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, but outside of that, there's a lot of companies out there that have had tremendous success, but their product is lacking.
Yeah.
But their marketing is badass. Their marketing is boss. And I feel like we got the best of both worlds. You're buying into a lifestyle, but you're also buying a great great product that there's not a single one of our blends that I would not put up against any other blend that's out there. I mean,
Oh,
we are heavy hitters. We are strong, and we put the best stuff we can in there, dude. And I'm just proud of it. Absolutely proud of it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys are based out of Tennessee. You're born and raised in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, man, I'm a Tennessee boy through and through, dude. I've never the furthest west I've ever been is Colorado.
Oh shit. You got to
Yeah,
make
I
a
mean,
Cali trip, dude, before it's
I
illegal.
know I need to, man. It's like, well, when I can find with all my free time, and I can try to make that happen.
Yeah.
But it's I've been born and raised here. My old man, he instilled hard work into me from the get. He never let me, have anything. If I wanted something, he made me work for it, and he could have been, he had the means to be one of those dads that could have, silver spooned my ass. But he didn't,
Yeah.
I remember, bro, I remember working, when I was a kid, when Sega Genesis first came out.
Hell yeah, dude.
I went to work every day during that summer.
Sega.
Sonic, baby, let's go.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, let's go.
But I saved up all summer and finally got that thing. But anyways, outside of that, dude, it's
born and raised Tennessee boy.
Yeah,
through.
Complete Vols fan, man. Like
Hey, congrats on making it through the first round.
Hey, not even that. SEC champs, homie.
Let's go. Let's go. So I got a fun Vols story for you. It's a March Madness story. My wife had to set up a March Madness bracket for her whole work, right? Okay. And she knows nothing about nothing when it comes to sports. And she's the first one to admit it. Like the character Ruth from Ozarks. I don't know fuck about shit.
That's a good.
Or I don't know shit about fuck. One of those two.
That's what it is.
Either way, it's a great quote. She's that gal when it comes to sports in general, especially college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So she filled out her bracket, and I was like, oh, like, let me check it out. Because again, I've kind of fallen. I'm still a sports fan, but I've definitely, with a lot of the wokeness that we've seen, I've just really kind of distanced myself from professional sports. You don't see it very much in college as much, but definitely with professional, it's a little outrageous in my opinion.
Right.
But so, and I always get excited about March Madness stuff. And so she did her own bracket, and I looked at her. Guess who she's got winning it all?
Who?
The Vols.
No, she don't, man.
Yes,
It's an omen. I'm telling you, dude. Let's go. Man, I've never in my lifetime since I was a sperm. All right, I have never seen where the Vols were even talked about winning it all. And right now, they're number 5 on best chances to win it all. And several people.
Shit.
Ken Palm hasn't won it at all. And Kentucky went down the night, bro.
So did Iowa, right? That was a huge upset as well.
I didn't see Iowa, but freaking Kentucky going down. It's like, good. Bye-bye. Yeah. See you later. Bye. See you later. But I'll tell you, wild. Man, it's there's a good shot, man. And look, we were SEC champs this year. It's the first time since 1979 Tennessee has won the SEC tournament.
79.
Mm-hmm. We've been regular season champs, before, but never. We have not won the SEC tournament since 1979. And so, buddy, if we can just get past the Elite Eight, that is good.
You like your chances?
I'm good. I look, once you get to the Elite Eight, it's a toss up. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's March Madness.
Well, I feel like I feel like this whole March Madness thing is a toss up, dude. Like even in the first round, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of shoo-ins, but like there's some times where you're just like literally people who put way too much time and effort into creating these brackets, and they're out first round.
Yeah,
their brackets shot to shit.
It's gone. You know I mean, Gonzaga's the number 1 seed, and they had a little rough go in the first half of their game.
Yeah. I was telling her, like, Gonzaga is like the Alabama of basketball. Like, they're always in like the top 1 to
They're-
3,
They're
always.
always there, dude. And
Always there.
they're like they're like in the middle of nowhere school too, man.
Where the
What
fuck is Gonzaga? I never can remember.
It's like Alaska?
No, it's not in
Come on.
Alaska.
Hang on, I'm looking.
Google that shit right
I'm
now.
Googling
dude.
it right
There's
now.
no way.
I'm pretty sure.
No way they're in Alaska.
It might be Washington or something like that.
Yeah,
but
it's probably
it's
Gonzaga.
there.
Watch, it's in like California, and
I'm doing it right now. I'm hitting the Googles.
The Googs.
Yeah.
So Tennessee, big Vols guy. I'm pulling for you guys. I truly
Washington.
Washington. Okay.
Yeah.
You said it under your breath.
Pretty close to Alaska.
Yeah, let's be honest. Might as well be.
Yeah, dude. But no, it's dude, being a Tennessee fan is tough.
Yeah.
Because we are always let down.
Well, especially when it comes to football.
Hey, but dude, I mean, like, we got this new coach.
Oh, get out of here.
We got
like a broken record, man.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, brother. But no, we got this new
that
coach.
Burnt orange Kool-Aid.
That's right. I got them glasses on and I'm drinking it. But it's I did not like the hire at all. Did not like the hire, but he's making waves, but we'll see. I have refused to get my hopes up, for football any longer. Yeah. And I'll tell you this, I had zero hopes up for basketball because Rick Barnes, our coach, we all around here, I love him.
Yeah.
I want him to stay until he retires. I love Rick Barnes, but everybody calls him regular season Rick. Because he never does it. He never postseason. He's always farts on it, man.
Okay,
He crushes it in the regular season.
Coming from a coaching background, like, are you going to put all the blame on the coach when it, like, if everything's working in regular season, and then just magically it seems like a different team's out there in postseason, is it the coach's deal or is it the player's deal?
I don't know because to
me it sounds like the players' buttholes are just tightening up.
Oh, okay. But I mean, is that because the coach didn't prepare him? He didn't get them mentally ready for that stuff. You know what I mean?
I mean, man, at that level, dude.
Or is it just a bad? That's why he got fired from Texas. He crushed it in the regular season. 17 years at Texas, right?
Yeah.
He crushed it in the regular season, but he never made it in the postseason, even with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he is one of the best. I mean, like, just from what I know about the guy, he's one of the best dudes that I would ever want coaching my kid.
Mm-hmm.
I see how the players respond to him. They
and that's
love
what you really
that
want,
man.
dude. Honestly, let's like take a step back for a second. Like that, you want your kid to have a good college experience. You want your kid to come out a better man or a better woman than they came in as, right? So like that's really the end goal. People get way too fucking caught up into that kind of shit.
He molds men.
And I'll never forget, again, coming from a coaching background, I did private lessons with a kid who was like 8 years old, and his dad called me one time, says, "Hey, Jared can't make it to his private lesson. He broke his wrist." I'm like, "Oh, that's a bummer." Yeah. He's like, it was during the Halloween and he was sprinting and he tripped and he broke his wrist. Again, 8 years old. He goes, "I'm really worried about his career."
Oh, come on, dude.
Come on, dude. I'm like,
you too early, buddy. You're too early on that.
Fucking early. Even if it's in high school, bro. Like, dude, he's gonna be okay, dude.
My kid is.
I heard that and I felt so sorry for the kid, man, because that told me exactly where that dad was, and it's just not on the right level. Not on the right level.
So I got both my kids in baseball, right? And my kids are brains. Okay. Me and Stacy.
Not a bad thing, man.
No, Stacy was an athlete, dude. And I wouldn't call myself I was very athletic and I played basketball. That was my thing. I'm not saying I was a great athlete or anything, but I was very fast and both of us were very athletic people. My kids are brains. They're brainiacs, but they want to play ball and they're playing ball. I don't expect them to, Jace is going to be an engineer. That's what he wants right now. At 9 years old, he goes, Dad, I want to be an engineer.
Hey, you're gonna
Freaking
be a millionaire, so I support it.
I support your decision, son.
Don't forget about where you came from when you're an engineer.
But let me ask you this, okay? I want you to tell me the truth. You know, Dad the dad. We brought him to the batting cages the other night.
That's so wild that you can say dad to dad now.
I know, right?
Yeah,
because you have offspring.
Yeah, I have a spawn.
That's right. You spawned an offspring. So, but we got Jason in the batting cages, and he was hitting 45 mile an hour.
Okay.
You know, for a 9-year-old, talk to me.
No, that's good, man. 45 for a 9-year-old for sure. I mean, that's gas for a 9-year-old. That's good.
What I thought. I'm like, he's a prodigy. No,
slow your roll, dude. It's a fucking pitching machine, but yeah. No, that's I hated pitching machines growing up. I hated them. I needed to see the live arm. I needed to see the wind up. I could not stand pitching machines. So once I got to an age where I was like, no, I need you to throw me batting practice. I can't do that.
Yeah. Shit. Well, I mean, I agree with that. There's something to be said about what your eyes do.
Yeah.
You know, and how you judge, you know, a guy's arm coming at you.
And with pitching machines, for the most part, they're not coming out of the same slot an actual pitching arm would be. You know what I mean? So
1,000%.
I just never liked it. I know there's a place for it. Some people enjoy it, you know. But there was a point in my career in college where I didn't even take batting practice before games. I would just set up a tee and just do tee work. And then I found out later, Tony Gwynn would do that shit.
Really?
Yeah. He would set up the tee, work inside, outside, that kind of shit, and just call it a day.
Yeah. Okay. See, I was not a baseball guy, man. I'm trying here. You know, I'm trying to. Stacy did softball, so she's got the background.
She's got a little bit of knowledge in her. Yeah.
She lets me do like Stacy lets me be like the dad. And I hear her like trying to coach my son, but then she like sneaks out and goes, "Why don't we try this?" And it's like, okay, yeah, that works. You know, she knows so much more than I do.
Yeah.
About this sport. She's a baseball fan.
Yeah.
See,
I'm at the point where I'm like, if he doesn't want to play baseball, I will never push it on him, because I almost don't want him to play baseball because I know too much about the game, right? So I would rather him pick up like golf or like be a fucking volleyball player, or he's probably not gonna be a volleyball player, let's be honest, but
he could have some ups. You never know.
I'm every bit of 6 feet and my wife is like 5'7", but he's not gonna decide to be. He's definitely, you can already look at him, dude. He's like thick boy material, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I would love if he played football and actually got around the right coaching staff that are like teaching like good tackling mechanics and that kind of stuff.
Bro, you're gonna love watching him grow up and just.
Oh, I can't wait, dude. But already I'm so stoked on just watching what he's doing now. Like, it sounds so stupid, but like the way he can like manipulate a fork now. And I'm just like,
I know you guys.
What?
I know we're going down a hole, but it's
we're totally like, this is definitely like Bourbon dad talk right now.
Word, like, oh yeah, he splashed the water. Did you see it? Did you see it? Freaking stupid shit we do, man.
Do you see how he just picked up that fork? Did you see it?
Woo!
Yeah. I'm sitting there. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
1,000%, dude.
Yeah,
when Jason was cracking 45 mile an hour, you know, then I was proud, man. I was proud of that Jazz. I mean, when he was hitting those 45 mile an hour, I didn't think he was going to hit any, because the cage that had 35 mile an hour balls was only throwing softballs, and they were like rainbows coming out of there. It was broken or something.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Hunting, Tennessee hunting. I know there's not a ton of public land in Tennessee, correct?
There's a good clip, man. We got a lot of
coming from California, where there's like literally so much private land. I feel like pretty much going anywhere else, you're not going to find it. But
no, we got
hunting like versus. So you're a big hunter. I just kind of threw us in there, but like you're super into hunting. That's obviously like a big part of who you are. I'll back this train up. where did that start? Was that like straight out of the gate, dad taking you out hunting, or was that something you acquired later on in life? What was that?
No, man. So I remember my dad rolling in his like old Ford pickup truck, bro, and like deer legs sticking out the bed. You know, like, and I
That
just,
southern shit.
yeah, I have it really, bro. I'll send you some pictures.
No, dude, that reminds me of my Texas days, hunting with
Yeah,
family. It's same thing. Same thing.
1000%, dude. So it's
Yeah.
like I
It's like
remember
putting
that.
on a jacket is like the same as like seeing some deer legs or a
Uh-huh.
rack sitting up on a truck.
And the thing is, man, like your kids are an extension of you.
Mm-hmm.
The things that eventually they're going to be their own person.
Yeah.
All right. But the things that you love and the things you're passionate about, inherently, they want to be that too. And so like when my dad would roll in the driveway and I missed him, he'd be gone for, 3 or 4 days out hunting and he'd roll in the driveway and he'd be successful. I'm like, that's a freaking man right there, bro. I mean, he's bringing home the meat,
big
man.
dick energy right there.
And I could not wait. And so like he broke me in through dove hunting. And he wouldn't let me. I wasn't hunting. That's just when he brought me with him. And dude, and this dude, man, my dad's a cheap ass, first of all. He's a tight ass. So like we would go to this place and it was an island. So we would have to get in the boat and we would have to boat over there and tie up to a freaking tree. And so we'd have a load of guys and he would make trips, right? So he was being minimalist with the things we brought. Like I take my kid hunting now with me in the blind. I'm bringing snacks. I'm bringing, I'm bringing drinks. I'm making sure he is settled. Yeah. Cause I want him to stay there.
Yeah.
No, not my dad. Here's one thermos full of water, no ice. And we got like 4 packs of crackers for the whole day.
Different time though, man. Different time.
The whole day, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I learned to be hungry. I learned to be thirsty. Yeah. But I'll tell you, I was the best damn bird dog in that field. Ain't no whistles for me. It was just, there it is. Go get it. And I'd fetch up and I'd run out there. And I tell you, he loved it. He would go around and do to the people in the field. And he gives like, oh, you think your bird dog's hot? Watch this. Get him, I'd take off out of the damn corn stalks.
Oh my gosh.
But so it started with that, man. And it wasn't even about the hunting, bro. Like believe me, I wanted to be successful. I wanted to kill something and I wanted to eat it. That was my primal instincts. But more than that, just being one of the boys. Like,
oh, dude.
Being a bro.
Yeah.
Hanging out like watching my dad be different than he is at home, like being him, like watching him have fun and like cut up and drink a little bit,
Yeah.
Like that stuff, it's ingrained in my brain. Like first time I ever went to deer camp and it was a little single wide trailer that one of my dad's buddies owned. We go up there and we sit in that and they would all, dudes are just piled in this trailer, sleeping on the couch. I'm on the floor. There's 2 bedrooms in this thing and it just smells of cooking in there. And I think that's where my passion for cooking came from, because I would go in there and there's always the one guy in hunting camp that didn't really care to hunt. He just cooked for everybody.
That's, dude, that's a thing. That's a thing where he's like, he's going to hang back in camp, but when you're ready, when everyone comes back, dude, you got a feast ready to rock.
He always had something on the pot, some sort of stew.
Cool.
I think it's why I love stews and soups and things like that.
Came back from that.
Yeah, I think so. And it's like, and things were so much looser in hunting camp. Cause I when I was a kid, I loved cherries. And I remember I was like, just like raw cherries. And I saw this big jar of cherries. And I said, can I have some of those cherries? And I go, yeah, get you a spoon. I got a tablespoon out of there. I dipped in that jar and I shut those on my mouth. And they were like 130 proof moonshine cherries.
Oh.
I'm like 10. Okay. So it's instant.
You learn your thing at Cheery right there. Yeah.
Oh, but see, the thing is, as much as it pained me, the look on all their faces, like I was like, I made them laugh. You know what I mean?
You're like, I'm one of the boys.
Yes, I'm one of the boys. And so like, for me, that's where that's hunting for me. Hunting for me is about the food and the camaraderie.
Yes.
And
100%.
And I'm telling you what, man, if you've never hunted, there's nothing like getting in the woods in the dark and watching everything around you come to life, and they have no idea you're there.
Man, that is a beautiful sentence you just said. It really is, man. Because it's so true, man. When you're coming in, the sun hasn't even thought about coming up yet, and you're walking to a stand, you're walking to a blind, you're just
Yeah.
walking to maybe, again, I do mostly public land stuff, so I've like picked out a spot prior to me walking in where I'm trying to hit this point. And then the sun slowly things start to lighten up, the sun starts to come up, and you start seeing birds move, start seeing animals start moving around. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It really is. Take hunting out of it. Just like sitting in nature and just watching things come to life is just
and I know that sounds cheesy.
Oh yeah. Sounds like we're two hippies just tripping on fucking shrooms right now, but it
when
really is a beautiful thing.
When you're so still, when you're sitting in like a tree stand, you're like a climber. You climb up a tree and you're sitting there and you're not moving, and the only thing you're just using your eyes, and then a bird lands on your leg. And it's like staring at you like, "What's up, man?" You know what I mean? Or
good camo right there.
Yeah, or a squirrel is 3 feet from you. It's just, I don't know, dude. Those are the perks. That's the satisfaction of hunting.
Yeah.
And the perk is being able to put some meat in there. Some meat in the freezer, dude. Do you know how set apart me and you are from other men?
How?
Because
Tell me.
Because we can do things other men can't.
It's true.
The fact that if something happened and grocery stores were no longer available,
which could very well be a thing here in the upcoming, however,
100%
months or years it comes.
You never know.
You never know.
Things can happen. But me and you, we can go out and we have a very high percentage chance of feeding our family. So it's like that in itself, right, to be able to harvest an animal, to butcher the animal, to know what cuts you're cutting off that animal, and to be able to cook that animal in a proper way.
Yeah.
That sets a man apart from other men.
Well, 100%. And I think that is a huge problem that we have right now, not to go down this crazy rabbit hole of just, demoralizing what quote men are these days. But, you see a lot of beta bullshit these days.
They're wimps, bro.
Yeah. It's beta bullshit is what it is. Beta boys, soy boys, whatever you want to call them. Man, there's not a lot of men. I mean, there are a lot of men. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great men out there, a lot of alpha males out there that can take charge of a situation. And don't be confused by like alpha male means like you're a dickhead by any means. Like alpha male just means you're a leader. That's all that means. And so when shit hits the fan, you're the guy to step up and take charge of the situation and make sure that everyone's going to be okay.
Dude, some of the best men I've ever met in my life are men that I would not ever want to tussle with.
Yeah.
Because
they probably aren't the guys that you would assume, right? So like those alpha male people are like the guys that they're not telling everybody they're an alpha male, right?
They're so confident, they're calm.
Yeah. It's a calm confidence.
Where it is. It's like
you look at him, you're like, whatever happens, if I'm near him, I'm going to be okay.
100%.
I'm going to be okay.
Yeah. And that's something that is something in my life that I strive to be. Not that I need to be, Big Dick Rick. It's just, I want to know through everything my dad taught me through fishing and hunting and hard work, that all the things that I've been given in life, even through other men, through other fathers and other role models and things like that, I don't want to waste those gifts. I want to take those things and I want to apply them in my life. And then I want to turn that around and I want to instill that in my children, because the last thing that I want, what's the saying that, what is it? Like,
teach a man.
hard times make tough men.
Hard times make strong men. Good times make weak men. Right.
It's strong. It's hard time makes strong men. Strong men make good times. Good times make
weak. There you go.
Weak men, and that is a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's one thing I credit my dad is I had it good. I had it real good, but he never let me know it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
that's good. I didn't grow up like that. I gave I wouldn't maybe call it a silver spoon because we were never like that, but like I was an only child. I was definitely pampered. I definitely got away with a lot of shit that I probably never should have. And it set me back. It really did. It set me back growing up and until I got into my adulthood where, I was like, dude, this shit's weak sauce. Like having this feeling that I'm feeling is shit. I don't like it. Like I need to step my shit up. And so I just kind of figured that shit out.
Amen.
No, I won't say on my own because everyone's got a mentor. Everyone's got somebody who
took
them under their wing. I'm not going to say I did that shit on my own, but I definitely didn't grow up that way where, it was hard work 24/7. I definitely had some easy streets growing up.
For sure, dude. And that's my thing, dude. I ask God every day, just let me make my sons good men.
Yes.
Before you take me out of this place.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And no, that's a good point. Cause like now, like you're a father of 2 boys. I've got a son. And it's like, okay, like now we have to make sure that they grow up with those values instilled at them. They're not going to like, man, I see all these kids who I can already tell are going to be beta boys and they're not even teenagers yet. You know what I mean? Where they're just attached to tablets. They don't have any kind of outdoor skills. And I think even though that may not be their thing, like you said, your boy, your oldest, he's like, I'm going to be an engineer. Like I already know. Right.
Yeah.
And that's great. What if he ends up doing that already? Like, that's awesome. Like if that's his thing, that's fine. But like to not have you can be a whiz and still know how to handle a 9mm.
Absolutely. Dude.
You know what I mean? Like you can do both. You don't have to be super strong in one area and just have no fucking clue what's going on in the other.
Yes.
Like you can have the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. He is smart, great with numbers. He's going to be an engineer that knows how to skin a deer, cook that shit, and then fire an AR-15 whenever he wants.
Exactly. That's and I think that is such a point where people miss, We're like, oh, my kid doesn't like sports. Okay, well, that's fine. Like it's not for everybody, right? A lot of people are lone wolves. Like they just don't do well with others. And
bro, kids don't know what they like.
Yeah,
they don't. I mean, like
they can know choose their own gender, Paul, Joel. They can do that.
Positive Paul. No,
Paul.
No, man, like they don't know what they want. They want comfort.
Yeah.
They want to be comfortable. And it's our job to push them outside of that so they can know what they're capable of.
Yes.
They can know
outside of their comfort zone. Let them know that it's going to be okay to be out of a comfort zone.
It's okay to get hurt.
Yeah.
I tell you what, like,
it's okay to get hurt. It's okay to be in an awkward situation. It's okay to fail. It's okay to do all the things that are super uncomfortable that people tell you not to be in. It's okay to do all of those things because it's just going to get you better at the end of the script. You're just going to be better at all those things. Like nobody's been really great at something without failing a shit ton of times before that.
Absolutely. Because with every failure comes a learning experience.
Just with your seasoning. How many times did you go through a different type of blend before you got to your first blend, where you're like, this is it. You know what I mean?
Outside of the first one, that was an accident. But the rest of them, dude, went through lots of trials. Like right now, dude, like I've got, we have 2 blends coming down the pipeline. They've taken over. It's taken over.
Is this breaking news?
Yeah. I say by summertime, you're going to see 2 new blends from Reload.
Ooh.
So but these things have
Is
taken
Dusty Mustache coming out?
Dusty Mustache coming out of the fight. Here we go. Who wants a mustache ride? Because we're ready.
I told you. So let this be known. I said this a long time ago, where if they made a seasoning for micheladas and you call it the Dirty Sanchez,
I'm telling you, dude.
if it ever happens, I get 10% off of every commish. Okay.
Amen. I'm telling you, man. We have been, and we've also been exploring things of that nature. Like, and your name.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Your
Because
name's
like,
brought
honestly,
up.
the michelada thing, man. Shout out to our friend Kelsey. She, oh my god, she makes a fucking mean michelada, dude.
I love a good michelada.
Right? It's just
I'm not
one
a
of those
Bloody
things,
Mary
like,
guy,
it's
but
so,
micheladas, I'm
I've got to
down.
definitely have to be in the mood though. Like you can't just like randomly order a michelada, at least for me. I've got to be in like a mood. And then
buddy,
it's like a
for me, it
michelada
has
leads
to be
to like a
warm
margarita.
weather. Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes. It has to be warm weather though.
Yes.
Spring to summer. That's what
Spring to summer.
Late
Exactly.
time.
You don't look at a michelada and be like, I'm going to have this during fall. No, it's like I'm on a boat. I'm at a beach. I'm at a pool. I'm pounding this michelada.
But backtracking real quick, I want to backtrack real quick, is back to the hunting thing. You know, we're going to make it happen because turkey season is coming up, bro.
I shit the bed again this year. So I'm sorry.
You didn't shit the bed, dude. That's life. Life happened. We've been talking about this, Jazz. But I want to say this. I want to preface this. And I'm going to toot my own horn. I have never gone a single turkey season and not killed a turkey since I started turkey hunting about 6 or 7 years ago.
Major flex. I like that. Major
Excellent.
flex.
Major flex. You know, I did not kill myself a turkey last year, but I guided 3 people.
Okay.
And we have 3 turkeys on the ground.
There you go.
Producer Matt.
I totally think that that's a fair call to say, like, I've put a turkey down, even if you've guided. You know what I mean?
Yes, because
I think that's a fair.
I'm not pulling
fair.
the trigger, but my calling skills.
You got yourself, you got everybody else in a situation to put one down. So therefore, it's kind of your turkey as well. That's the way I look at it.
Let me ask you this though: Have you been turkey hunting? Like, is that a?
I have, and I've hated it.
Really?
Public land where we are, it is just not fun. So
saturated.
No, so all of where I go, it's like in the Julian, California area. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. I go, I do my deer hunting out there. You can do quail and dove and all that pheasant kind of stuff. You can also do turkey out there. It's a great area. However, there's a lot of anti-hunters out there. And what I am going to I'm going to die on this hill. I'm going to say that they are feeding these wild animals on their private property to keep them on private property.
Yeah.
Because you'll drive by and I shit you not, you'll see a flock. I think you call them a flock of like 11 turkeys just hanging out on private land when public land is literally like 100 yards that way. And they won't budge ever. You call them in, you can do all the things. No, they're like, no, we got it good over here. Why do they got it good over there? Why is it so great over there?
Because they got that yummy yum.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, dude. Like, so best time for turkey hunting. Opening weekend.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it, but it's like, if I'm doing public land,
I'll get you, man.
Tough. It's tough.
Next year, I have the spots lined up.
Okay. Keaton will be 2 something. It'll be fine.
We got to make it happen.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, dude, if there's nothing better. Like, I'm a deer hunter, 20 plus years of deer hunting, right?
But for some reason, when I talk to you, I always think turkey for you.
Because, bro, I missed my calling. When I got introduced to turkey, holy smokes, putting the Comanche crawl down on a bird. I'm telling you what, bro, Chacho, it's nothing like it. It's like, man, it's so exhilarating and fast paced. It's a whole different ball game when you're going turkey hunting.
I
And
love it.
it's frustrating, bro. It's very, very frustrating. I remember one time I went turkey hunting and I brought a bow and a shotgun because I wanted to kill one
And a
with the bow.
grenade just to make everything.
That's it. Yeah.
Cool.
I wanted to kill one with a bow, but I wasn't confident. And so I brought the shotgun as backup and I missed with both on a massive long beard.
That's what you get for bringing both, you fucking coop.
I know.
Oh,
I ripped that blind down, tore it apart, broke stuff.
Light it on fire. Light it on fire.
I was so pissed, bro.
Oh my God, dude. I can't even imagine.
Right.
Yeah, I've only gone out with a bow. And again, not having the most confidence in the world of like actually getting a chance to even draw my bow back.
Homie, I know you're a bow guy. I know you are. I know you like the trad life, all that stuff. But dude, there is nothing like smacking a turkey in the head with some number 4 shot. I mean, just
psycho.
Just lay down, whap, right on there, man. I mean, there's nothing like. I mean, I've shot a turkey with a bow, and it's not the same effect.
Oh yeah, no,
it's not. It's not that,
dude. Don't get me wrong. I love archery, but I also love me some 2A. Love it,
bro. Chacho, when you come down here, I got a shotgun waiting for you.
All right, deal. So I do have the shotgun right over there. It's a beautiful little over under, but I don't know if I can travel with that thing. Especially, it's not even in my name, so I probably shouldn't travel with it.
Keep it at home. They won't let you back in with it. I've got a Winchester.
No
I got a Winchester 1300 with your name on it.
Okay, done. You want to take? We got 2 calls. You want to take them?
Let's go.
All right. All right. I'm gonna put this up to the mic. Hopefully we can hear it. Here we go.
What's up, guys?
Can you hear that? All right.
Paul, aka the other half, the potty mouth. This question's for Joel. Spencer, you can chime in too.
Paul got lonely.
Joel, will we ever be seeing you cook with Beyond Beef? You know, that soy filled nasty shit. So I don't think the home cooking hunter would approve, but I want to hear your take on this meatless meat, if you will. All right, guys, stay safe, and yeah, drink up a little bit more. Sound sober.
Oh, wow! If only he knew I was 4 glasses in. So no, yeah, the Beyond Meat, the Beyond Meat, the Beyond, the Beyond Queef. I have never had that shit, nor will I probably ever in my entire life, unless it's been disguised. I mean, I'd answer it for you. You probably will never be fucking around with that kind of stuff.
Nah, dude. I mean, and we can, and you guys can, I'm inviting myself back on the podcast for some sort of prepper-esque podcast. But
yes,
you know, I won't eat or deal with that stuff because to me, you know, God gave us these animals for a reason, bro. Okay. And
God gave us these scientists and petri dishes, you know, too. So
that's fake news. No,
they gave us all the science too, bro.
That's right, all the sciences and the biologies.
Yeah,
you know, all those things.
Follow the science when it comes. Definitely comes to fake meat.
China.
So,
but no, it's I never, man. Like I don't see the need for it, and I don't want it. You know, to me, if it gets to where, to the point where cows and all that jazz are too expensive to purchase, then, buddy, I'm a hunter. I'm going after it. And again,
it goes back to what you were saying. Like you and I built a little different. Like we can go out again. Not saying I'm the greatest hunter in the world, but I'm better than all of my neighbors. I'll tell you that right now.
You're damn straight. You know, and I'll say this, man. You know, I can go spend $2,000. Okay. It's a lot. That's a lot of money. All right. But I can go spend $2,000 and I can take my
OnlyFans, Joel. Remember
that. Well, I got good feet. There they are. That's sexy. All right. That's the dollar bills right there, buddy. But no, it's, I can go get an elk
Yeah.
I can take my chance, spend $2,000 and I can take my chances hunting an elk. And even, I don't care if it's a freaking, I mean, yes, the trophy hunter in me wants a freaking rack, you know, screaming in my face. But if I shoot a cow elk and I get 700 pounds of meat,
Who gives a fuck?
let's go, man.
Yeah.
And it's good. Or if
You
I
can't
shoot
eat antlers, buddy.
but guess what? If I go on a bison hunt, you ever had bison?
It's delicious.
It's tasty AF. It's
Yeah.
so good, man. It's and it's fatty. The fat's delicious on it. It's a you know, a to me almost a better cow. So it's like there's alternatives out there. I don't need a plant-based chemistry petri dish, you know, something that came out of damn salt water to tell me, you know, to feed my ass. Ain't happening.
Great point to be made about everything about the fake meat, the Beyond Beef kind of thing,
Right.
or Beyond Meat. Their stocks are.
Yeah, because Americans ain't gonna put up with that crap,
like,
bro.
Are you fucking kidding me? No.
Nah.
Like,
know
don't get
what-
me wrong. We've got our fair share of beta boys and gals that are buying into it, but Bill Gates, who is a huge investor into Beyond
Yes.
Beyond Beef or meat or whatever it's called, and dude, it's not doing well, as it shouldn't be doing well.
And that's how it should be. That is that is nature taking control right there, buddy.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, here's a good idea. Let's give more work for actual American farmers and American ranchers. Like, let's do that. Let's go buy some beef. Dude, I've been thinking about doing this for a very, very long time. I've got a buddy out in Gardnerville, Nevada. It's literally you could throw a baseball and hit the other side of California. Like, it's at the border of Nevada and California.
Right.
And he's got his own ranch out there, and he does the slaughter and all that good stuff. And I was thinking about like going down with a couple buddies, like, let's go buy a fucking cow.
Do it.
Like,
do it right now.
And we'll have like, dude, I can't even tell you how many pounds of meat we'll have. I need to go get an actual freezer that's going to be able to house all that. But
hey, but Spencer, outside of all that, a majority of the meat you buy in stores, you got to look at the labels, because a majority of the meat you buy in stores is imported from other countries.
Yes.
When you got American people that are growing a better product, and I know that you know, cut this out if you need to or whatnot, but I'm telling you, my friends at Halsman Family Meats and other companies in America that you can buy beef and have it shipped to your house, American raised beef, pork, and poultry. Hell, there's a California company. Oh my Lord, what's the name of it? We had them on our podcast, but I've had copious amounts of whiskey. Anyways,
disclaimer.
Anyways, there's so many companies out there that provide this service, and they're American raised animals.
And yeah, it's probably a little more expensive that you're used to, but at the same time, like, at least you know where it's fucking coming from, you know?
Well, I mean, outside of that, it's like
Primal Pastures out here. They're
there you go. There you go.
That was the company you were talking about. Primal Pastures. They're out here in Murrieta, which is literally fucking 15 minutes from us. Yeah. And you can see everything that they're doing. There are no walls you can't see through in that operation.
100%.
And they even tell you about all the loopholes that they could be taking that other companies take.
And the chicken and the branch of their company that you know, raises chickens, their whole motto is bugs, not drugs. And if you listen to Farmer Paul, that's
Farmer Paul. I remember him. He's still there.
Yeah, well, he's the dude.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Farmer Paul. He's over the chicken side of things. Like how he goes about free range chicken, and you're gonna spend more. I'm telling you. I get like it.
But again, it comes back to how important is your health. how important is it for you to know where your food is coming from? Unfortunately, I think for the modern American, it's not that important.
No, but I will say this: it's like once you taste, like if you like you
Oh, there's a huge difference. Like you
the
can look
one,
at it with eggs. If it's like a pale yellow, you know that that chicken was under an immense amount of stress its entire
yes.
existence versus this blood orange yellow.
Hey man, you go get you a freaking like a legit backyard farm raised
Dude,
chicken, and
that
they're
thing is goddamn orange, if not red
yeah,
yolk,
and
but
it's good.
it's delicious. And that means that thing has been eating bugs and just free ranging and just fucking living its best life, dude.
No steroids,
Yep.
none of that jazz. We have 2 podcasts in one right here, but I'm telling you, dude, like when you order from like Haltman Family Meats, for instance, they all their meat is sourced from local farms. So they're not ordering meat from Brazil or wherever else, South America. No, they're not ordering meat from there. They're getting meat from Amish or Mennonite farms, bro. And they're hand selecting that jazz, and the prices are the same.
Yeah. I need to order some. I've actually never ordered anything from Haltman. I need to do it.
Use coupon code TRP22 to get a
Oh,
discount of 15%.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do it.
But I'm just, what I'm getting at is like, man, like we're so set up in America. We're so set up.
But we might not be set up for that much longer. And I truly feel, in my own opinion, that I feel like we're going to get to a point where shit's going to get very, very scarce, and it's going to be very clear who has survival skills and who doesn't.
100%, man.
If you're the person who just consumes, never does anything in house on a residential standpoint, right? You're going to be fucked. You are going to be so screwed. But if you're somebody who is at least, halfway decent at being outdoors and hunting, like, you're going to have a much better opportunity when shit hits the fan to actually be able to provide something. Because nobody's going to give a fuck about licenses and permits if the shit really goes south.
Bro, Chacho, if people in those situations are going to, they're going to turn animalistic. They're going to become people that they're not.
But here, this is what I want to see. You can go animalistic in a mall. You can go animalistic in a grocery store.
Yeah.
Go animalistic. I want to see that person who's been a consumer their entire life go animalistic out in the wild. How's that going to go for you?
It's not
going to go. It's not going to go for you.
People are going to panic. People are going to do things that they are not in their normal nature. Yeah. But the beauty is that, and this is what I always tell people all the time, is I would rather look stupid being prepared than to look stupid not being prepared.
So true. I used to make fun of preppers all the time. Like the word prepper, right? Oh, you're a prepper.
Oh, what an idiot.
Yeah. Conspiracy theorists.
They're going to nuke us.
Yeah. Meanwhile, most of the conspiracies, I would say the vast majority of them all come true, but that's a discussion for another time. But survival in itself, like, you're a prepper, dude. It doesn't have to be like I'm prepping for government takeover. It could be prepping for natural disasters. It can be prepping for anything. And you should be prepping for anything because, dude, if anything you learn in these last 2.5 years, shit can go south at any moment.
Buddy, I mean, like, there's 100 different things that you can prep for. 100
at least 100.
The thing is if anything you do, you should be prepping for life skills to where you do not have to rely on anyone else but yourself. yourself.
Say it louder for the
Let's
people in the
go.
back.
Don't rely on
Seriously, though, like,
anybody but
don't-
yourself.
Don't have to. The goal is, and again, like, I'm not saying like I know everything about everything, right? But I surround myself with people who complement my skills and I complement their skills. Like that should
Yes.
be like, have a community around the people that you have in your circle where
Homie.
everyone brings something different to the table, right?
Yeah, look at this. Take the tinfoil hats off. Take them off. Throw them away. Psh. All right. Look what happened in Texas.
Yeah.
A freak winter
Had nothing to do with
blast.
politics,
Nothing.
at least on the surface, like nothing. It's just fucking crazy weather, right?
But crazy freaking weather happened, and there was a thousands of people in Texas that were without power, without food, without water, and they didn't know what to do. And if anything, just having those life skills to be able to rely just on yourself, that in itself is just a great thing to have in your arsenal.
Yes. Yes.
And reload rub and seasonings in your trail.
Hey, if you're trying to survive, you might as well have it taste good.
That's right.
You got 10 years of top ramen. Throw a little bit of double action in there.
That's right. Hey, can I give a plug though?
Absolutely. Plug away, my guy.
A prepper plug. So, you know, me and Stacy, I will call ourselves like level 5 preppers. Out of 10, we're like level 5 preppers. Okay, we are prepared. We're not freaking.
I think you're sure. I think you might be selling yourself a little short there.
Oh, maybe.
Like I would consider myself like a 3 out of 5, maybe a 4. I'd say like 4 out of 5. I think you would be more of like a 6 or 7 because you did like a whole like water filtration system, correct?
Oh, buddy. I mean, like I have water. I have the water filtration down. I have the power down. I have
dude. You're
how to
not
store the food down. I have
you're not a
out,
4 or 5, dude.
I am bug out, bug in, prep. You know, all that jazz. So
I've got the generator. I've got the ammo. I've got a shit ton of water. I've got a shit ton of like non-perishable food. But other than that,
it's all about the plan, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the what was I saying? Help me out.
Well, you were saying you were at like a level 4 or 5 in prepping.
Yeah,
Stacy.
Well, buddy, I'm not gonna lie, lost my thought. It's gone.
Dude, you know what I do sometimes? I just like start talking and just like hopefully it comes back around. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I sound like a complete idiot, but I pull that one out of Michael Scott, the old from The Office. He's like, sometimes I just talk and just hopefully something comes from it. I've got another phone call for you.
Hit me with that.
This has been like a 2-hour plus podcast. Didn't think it was going to be like that, but I'm not mad about it. Here we go.
Fellas, what's up? Hey, Andrew Leonard's here. Just wanted to call, leave a message.
Big supporter of the pod.
Some barbecuing. Curious what the best rub seasoning to use on a nice venison backstrap and the best preparation method for that. And then if you got any tips and tricks to make liver and some of those other organ meats not taste so much like shit. But love to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks. Bye.
That's good shit right there. That's a great question.
Amen to that. All right, so let's start with the backstrap. One of my favorite ways to do backstrap is if you're going with reload rub, Full Metal Jacket or Magnum. Okay. So you got your backstrap, it's thawed out. Most backstraps are pretty thick, man. And it's hard to cook venison.
Unless you're hunting in California.
Well, the doe meat we get over here, dude, like my backstraps are at least 2 inches thick.
Oh,
and
dang, dude.
Yeah,
flex.
There's some fat boy girls. So
hey, don't you assume their gender like that? How dare you?
It's a shim.
Shimmy.
Yeah, but so if you're not smoking it, if you're not doing like a reverse sear type method where you're going to smoke it and sear it, one of my favorite ways to cook backstrap is to cutlet the backstrap. So I'll take the backstrap and I'll split it down the middle, or butterfly it, however you want to do that. And then I will put a tiny bit of EVOO on there, extra virgin olive oil.
Lost your camera again, but we're gonna just work through it.
Just to give you a little binder. I'm gonna get the boom here going. I'm gonna work out here. Hang on. There we
You're
go.
good.
Boom. But I will take that and I will season it with our Full Metal Jacket or our Magnum blend. It's heavy, it's coarse, it's just the onion flake, it's got the chili flake, it's got the garlic, it's got the kosher salt in there, the coarse black pepper. It is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to big flavors. I like to use the EVOO because when you have wild game meats, there's very little fats in that, and you want to add a little bit of that into it. Now, sorry, I'm still working with the camera. Once I get that all seasoned up, I get a cast iron skillet and I throw half a stick of butter in there. You're gonna get some people in the community, you guys, that will try to tell you to sear your venison and then try to cook it. I have found in my culinary experience that you will overcook your venison that way. You'll have heavy, dry ass sear marks.
I am someone who can vouch for that. I did try that method and it did not work out.
So what I like to do is get that butter where it is the butter, baby. I like to get the butter where it is just starting to bubble. And then I will just literally lay the raw meat inside the butter. It's almost like not a fry, but you're getting that crust on the outside of the backstrap from
just a little kiss, right?
Yeah, man, you get that little crust out there with just laying it in that butter and letting it crackle and crisp up. But put the Magnum of Full Metal Jacket on there and get that butter up to temp and just lay it inside there and give it a nice butter bath. Once you get about a 1/4 inch of the meat that browns up on the side, flip it over. And I am a big, big, big proponent, especially with wild game, of using a proper thermometer.
Yes.
You know, ThermoPro is a great company.
I have one of those. Those are solid.
I mean, they have instant read and they have like a 2 or 3 second read thermometer that you can put in there. And think about this.
Also, a side note, I have bought a ThermoPro, the one you just talked about. Yeah. But I also got in a white elephant gift during Christmas that I have not used yet. What is it, the meter? Meter. Yeah. But it's spelled
with meat. E-R.
Yeah. Dude,
those are
apparently
awesome.
That thing's like super legit too.
It's a wireless thermometer.
Yeah, like no wires. It's all Bluetooth.
It's great for bigger cuts that you're going to be smoking
so again,
with.
Like I haven't done like the tri-tip in a while. Yeah. Like I would throw that thing in a tri-tip. You know what I mean?
When you got something that's 1 inch thick, the meter's not really where it's at. You want something that's more acute than that. Oh. With a ThermoPro, it has that real. I mean, the ThermoPro I use to measure my oil temps when I'm frying chicken or something, or chicken wings or like that. It's that accurate.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like the meter is great for that wireless capability. That I slap it in a pork butt, put it in a tomahawk, whatever, and walk away. Have that Bluetooth technology and get accurate measurements, but it's a thicker, fatter probe that's not going to give you that instant read that you really need in the moment.
So you're saying the ThermoPro is better?
ThermoPro is good for those hot and fast cooks. So if I'm cooking something in a cast iron, or if I'm putting a sear on something, I need something that's going to tell me right now what that temperature is inside that meat, and that's going to change your cooking game hands hand over fist. That's going to change your cooking game to be able to know exactly what's in there. And with wild game now, let's go to backstraps. Let's go to the filet mignon, the tenderloins inside the cavity of the venison. That's they're tiny because it's a deer, but that's the best part. The backstrap and those tenderloins. And with wild game, if I like a medium rare steak, medium rare, 135,
Yeah.
130-ish.
Talk dirty to me.
Yeah. With venison, with wild game, you want to take, if you like a medium rare temp with beef, you want it to be a rare temp with wild game.
Yes.
Because of the flash point. So if I'm at 120 degrees with wild game, you're really at a medium rare with wild game.
Yeah.
Especially after it rests.
Yeah.
So keep those things in mind, because wild game has that flash point to where, just like that, here's my snap. Just like that, it is dry, and it is that hockey puck that everybody talks about. So, you never want to cook wild game over, in my opinion, medium rare, because of the texture of the meat.
It's so lean. It's almost like chicken, right?
There's no fat.
There's nothing on it, right? Like I'm pulling a chicken breast off at a couple bourbons in here. I'm trying to remember what I would do, but it's like
170.
160. I don't even think I give it that long, dude. Honestly, like I give it I'm at 150, 160, maybe.
160 is like safe. 160 is your food grade safe temperature for poultry.
So this is what I also do, because I'm generally speaking, I'm not cooking for that day.
Yeah.
I'm cooking for the week. So this shit's going to go cold. It's going to go get in a container. It's going to go get put in the fridge, and then it's going to go into a microwave.
That's smart, dude.
So I undercook a tiny bit.
Yep.
Throw it in the mic when it's ready, and then we're okay. Because
it's food prep 101. That's smart.
Right?
Yep.
Right. You're not going to eat it now. So why do I cook it to the temp that I'd want to eat it now?
That's right. 1,000%, dude.
Look at that.
Yeah, you're compensating. You're like a professional.
Look at that beer, the old bear trap right there.
Your brain is literally growing before my eyes.
I'm a fucking genius. That's why Reload Rub has sponsored this podcast.
Hey man, let's go. Let's go, dude.
Okay, let's get into some would you rathers, dude. This should be fun.
All right.
Okay, so I'm actually very excited this with Joel. So got 5 questions. I believe it's 5. I could have gone over, but who knows? So throw these questions up on the story. Our followers over at Potty Mouth, they all chime in. It's good times. I always get great responses. A lot of people don't even want to answer them, which is hilarious. They'll tell me I can't answer this. This is ridiculous.
I'll answer anything. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. 2 guests ago. We had a gal on. She was phenomenal, but she almost was the first person to not answer a question. And I was like, you're going to really be, I totally guilted her into it, like peer pressure, but I was like, you're really going to be the first guest ever to not answer a question. Like, really? You're going to be that gal? You're going to be that gal? Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Overthinking it, buddy.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. Okay. So anyway, here we go. Question 1. Would you rather be, sorry, I had to burp. Would you rather be able to travel through space or time, Joel?
Ooh.
Space or time? That's a good one.
That's deep, buddy.
I know.
Buddy,
it's so funny. Like a lot of these are like gross and like totally raunchy, but a lot of them also are like, dude, I gotta take a seat and think about this.
Not to get in the feels or anything, but I'm gonna say space, because I don't want to. I would not trade anything I've done in my life that would change where I am now. So I don't want to travel through time to potentially change anything that would put me any different than I am right now. So I'm gonna say space, bro, Chacho, because I want to know. I want to know where them freaking aliens be at, what they look like.
Okay, so I'm gonna say time, And the only reason I'm going to say time is to try to deflect anything coming in the future.
Oh. Or are you going to do a little hot tub time machine movie action and start
Great
and start,
movie. Great
and
movie.
start Lugal or
Yes.
Splugal.
I'm going to start a brand new sport.
No. Instead of Google, you're going to start Splugal.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That was
knowing what you know. I guess that is a benefit. Knowing what you know, you could capitalize.
Exactly. Knowing what you know, and then hopping in the future and be like, dude,
I own you.
I own you. Exactly. Like, I got a great idea.
That's right.
We got 82% said time.
Huh.
Yeah. You're in the minority, my guy.
Losers. Just
losers.
Love you guys.
Nerds. Okay, so this isn't really a would you rather, and anyone who's listening who participates in these, I'm trying to mix in other things than would you rathers. It's like you got to actually put in the effort and like type some shit. And so this is one of them. If you had to eat all of your meals from the same restaurant for the rest of your life, where would it be?
Oh man.
Come on, Joel. Where would it be?
If I had to eat all my meals, Cracker Barrel.
What?
Freaking Cracker Barrel, bro. My death row meal. My death row meal.
Wow.
Is fried chicken.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I love fried chicken.
Like a good crispy fried chicken is pretty hard to beat.
Legit fried chicken. I mean, but like country style steak in white gravy with biscuits there's just something. And I'm the kind of guy that like mixes my food. I want that big roll that I'm gonna dip in the gravy.
Oh, I mix all my food.
I'm gonna eat a bite of meat, and I'm like
get after it,
shoving it in like an animal. I don't know. That's me. I guess if I had to say it, if I'm not naming like a mom and pop, you know what I'm saying? It'd be Cracker Barrel.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it. I respect it. I'm just very surprised by your answer.
Gravy. I mean, dude, I could go bougie. Don't get me wrong.
No, but again, you're thinking long term.
Long term.
Longevity here.
You got greens in there, man. You got great desserts.
Dude, okay, so I'm not gonna name. We got actually a large amount of results, but one of them stuck out to me early on, and he's actually a very good, a very great supporter of the podcast. Nathan Dean 86. He said Cheesecake Factory because the menu is larger than a dictionary, and he's not wrong.
It's bigger than the Bible, buddy.
It really is bigger than the Bible. So it's like you'll be 85 years old and you'll be like, you still haven't gotten halfway through the menu.
That's a solid pick, dude.
It's a solid pick. It's a solid pick. He's not wrong. Like if you're going like, oh, I can only be at one spot for the rest of my life. Well, shit, Cheesecake Factory it is.
Let's roll.
I'll never forget. I've been to Cheesecake Factory maybe 2 or 3 times in my entire life, but one of the 2 or 3 times I was there maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And again, before that 6 months ago, it's probably been like 7 years.
But bro,
I'm going through the menu. I'm like, there is too many goddamn options going on here.
Like the thick menus.
Yeah,
you get
dude.
Anxiety. There's too many options. It's
got a binder. It's got a binder on it, dude. That's all you need to know.
Give me a 2-sided menu.
Yes, thank you.
And, give me limited options.
Yes, too many. There has to be something to be said about too many options.
There it is, man. I don't know I don't know how these restaurants function on that much versatility in their menu.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying. All right, question number 3. Would you rather be an awesome NFL kicker or an average NFL kicker? I'm sorry. I fucked that up. The last part is an average quarterback, NFL quarterback.
Oh, average quarterback, buddy.
You're going to go average quarterback. Why?
Because like most of the time, if you're an average quarterback in the college ranks, you come out a awesome quarterback. So are we talking average NFL, correct?
Correct.
Average, if you make it as an average NFL quarterback, you're making some dough, dude. You're making more than kicker dough.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah, you're making above league minimum for sure.
An average.
You're like a Baker Mayfield-esque quarterback, right?
Average is second string.
Who, hey, hot seat might actually be going to the Colts. We'll see what happens.
You think so? Dude,
that's shout out to Pat McAfee show. That's what it sounds like.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, I am a Baker sympathizer.
I dig the dude. I love his attitude. I love he doesn't give a fuck.
I think he's a good.
A lot of like early like Phillip River vibes, where he'll flip a motherfucker off. You know what I mean? I enjoy that because
he don't have 19 kids, but still.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Phillip Rivers
just does not know how to say no. That's for
sure. A Baker dude, like he's I like Baker. I think he is on that average, a little bit above average scale. He's an athlete, man. I mean, like
dude, loved him at Oklahoma. Loved his attitude. Loved his swagger. And people like want to write him off. Like Cleveland was literally nothing. They were below nothing.
Yes.
They were in the negative. You know what I mean?
Right.
And their quarterback got hurt. He stepped in and he started doing wonders for that fucking franchise.
There's something to be said about having a average talent, but a leadership mentality. You know what I mean? And having good talent around you.
Yeah.
Look at Alabama. Look at Alabama. What quarterback from Alabama has ever been anything in the NFL?
Very rare.
Yes. Tua right now was awesome in college. He was elite. Look at him in Miami. Garbage. Okay? Because he doesn't have great talent around him.
True.
No O-line and no good wide receivers.
Well, I don't care how good you are at quarterback. If you don't have any protection, how good are you going to be?
That's it, bro.
Like, and again, that's like not a knock on your talent at all. But like, dude, if you're the best quarterback in the world, but you have literally no protection.
Ryan Tannehill, average quarterback, making buku money with great O-line and above average wide receivers.
Shout out to Taylor Lewan. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I choose average quarterback.
All right. I'm with you.
I'm right. Everyone else is wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how this podcast goes.
That's right.
If you oppose me, you are a peasant.
You are sent to the gulag.
The gulag. But anyway, I would actually pick kicker because I would want to be my best version of a Pat McAfee. I would chug beers. I would smoke weed. I would literally try to do shrooms while trying to kick a field goal. I would try to do it all. It'd be like, dude, and he said it himself, like, practice? Bro, like I'm not out there hitting pads, bro. I'm not out there running when I'm running till I puke.
You're not. There's something to be said. There's a lot more work that goes into being a quarterback.
And I can be and I can be like an excellent / awesome NFL kicker. I'm choosing kicker every time.
You know, buddy, the more you talk, the more you sway me.
No, you already said what you said.
I'm sticking to
79% said kicker.
Damn it.
Yep.
Moving on.
All right, here we go. Would you rather be permanently hungover or never be able to drink ever again?
Never be able to drink again. 100%.
Final answer?
Final answer. I mean, like, dude, come on, man. Like,
I know, dude. Once you get in your 30s, dude, hangovers just hit different.
Well, once you have kids, bro, Chacho.
Yeah.
Like when that kid does not give a crap if you are hungover.
He does not give a shit if you had a bad day. He does not give a shit if you're hungover.
They want their ass wiped. They want to eat something, and they want you to play with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've been there.
Selfish bricks.
I have been hung over. I felt like spiders were on my skin. Okay. And my kids were like, Daddy, let me play with me. You know, I mean, it's, I love booze, but not that much.
Same. I'm with you. 90% said I'll take the sober.
All right. There we go. I finally won one.
Yeah. Finally. Yeah. You finally on the board.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. This is bizarre. And I got a lot of responses about this one. Like, why would you ever put this out there? But would you rather drink a gallon of your own piss or eat a bag of fertilizer? Now, remember, this is not all in one sitting. It doesn't have to be all in one sitting. It can be, drawn out a little bit. It's either piss or fertilizer. What are you doing?
I want to rub my lucky raccoon picker right here.
Yeah, like what is that thing going on?
Well, raccoons are one of the few animals that have a bone in their dicks. This is a raccoon pecker bone right here.
Is that really?
100%.
100%. I feel like we should have addressed that a long time ago.
Well, I just wanted it to happen naturally. I wanted you to just see it. And
well,
like,
here we go.
And I would have a story about it, but no. My sister, because I love the outdoors and love to hunt, she just randomly ordered me a raccoon pecker bone off the internet. So
that's
here
hot,
it is.
Dude. That's a big old pecker bone, dude.
Look at that, just sucker, dude. Imagine that. You little raccoon, that thing coming in hot right there.
Coming in hot.
So I'm gonna drink some piss, bro, Chacho. That's what I'm doing.
You're gonna go piss. I'm gonna go piss as well.
Crunching on fertilizer, crunching on shit. It's all dry and pasty. You know.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
That'd
be disgusting.
I can get through even though both are equally disgusting, depending on how hydrated one may be.
Yeah.
Slamming how much piss we talking?
Gallon
to a gallon.
But again, I'm saying it doesn't have to be all in one sitting, but you have to drink a gallon.
I'm still drinking a gallon of pee.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I'm drinking a gallon. I can drink anything.
Absolutely.
I can drink anything. I cannot eat everything.
If Bear Grylls can drink his own piss, so can I.
Absolutely. Even though it's a gallon, you can make it happen.
You said not one sitting, right?
Exactly.
Give me 12 hours. That shit's
12
gone.
12 hours. Okay.
Yeah. That's gone.
That's your new Instagram challenge. That's
a quart every 4 hours.
That a new challenge, drinking your own piss for Ukraine, right? For Ukraine.
Every 3 hours. Pardon my
I'm going to sit here
for Ukraine.
12 hours.
There we go.
Drink my own piss.
I'm going to have to really start saving some urine.
Yeah. Never know. You never know.
All
right, that's a wrap, my dude. I should give you a percentage. 81% said piss.
Hey, amen.
Amen. All right, dude, that's a wrap. Anything coming down the pipeline you want to throw out there? Maybe some breaking news for Reload.
Man, because it's you, yes.
Because it's the Potty Mouth Boys.
That's it. So we are right now. We are looking for a local. Like right now, things are crazy. All right, everyone knows it. We've hinted on some things here, but freight, gas, all that stuff is through the roof. So right now we have several hot sauces and sauces that are in our arsenal, and we're looking for a local, at least within 4 hours of where we live, co-packer for our sauces. And we want to launch this jazz.
I'm sorry. Did you say barbecue or hot sauce?
Both. We got
You're
barbecue.
Doing both?
I've got hot sauces. I've got pepper sauces. I've got
dude,
barbecue
I'm so
sauces.
I'm so excited. Let's go.
I mean, Stacy has a freaking teriyaki sauce that is out of this world, and we have all these things in our arsenal. But there's so much that goes into this stuff, and we're not the type of company that's just going to call up any co-packer and say, hey, give me a barbecue sauce. We're not. Like, we want to have
Just
our
like your
stuff.
seasoning, you want it to be the best of the best.
That's it. So I got to know what type of ingredients they're using. I got to know how they are producing all of this. But all those nuances make a difference. So we're looking right now for a co-packer within a 4-hour drive period that we can go and actually pick up our orders instead of having it freighted to us like we do currently with our seasoning. So that's and our co-packer currently doesn't do sauces. So that's
the
why
problem.
That's the problem. He's a dry seasoning, dry rub, a co-packer only. So
and does the and I'm assuming regulations, is that
it's a completely different animal, buddy. Like, there's things with dry rubs and that kind of, and like a seasoning doesn't go bad. It doesn't spoil. All it does is lose potency over time. That's it. The longer
and even
you
if
have
water gets to it, you can literally just crumble it back up.
That's it. If it cakes or it gets humidity, you can really chop it up and whatnot. But with sauces, that's a completely different animal. That is you're talking things that are spoilable. The FDA is heavily involved in that. Different licenses, all that stuff. So, but that's part of the game. We have some really good stuff. So, like game-changing, mind-blowing stuff that it's good.
Dude,
you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna send you some like little samples.
Please.
And then that way you can get a little taste of it. This is non-marketed stuff. But anyway,
I'm so excited that you're getting into the wet market, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Wuhan labs is what I'm talking about.
Here we go. China. but yeah, that's the next thing down the pipeline for us. We want to get into this. We want to get into the sauce.
That's probably like the nature of the business, right? It's like, okay, we've done our dry rub stuff. Like, let's start getting into the old barbecue, the old hot sauce market.
That's it, man. Like, and
again, it's saturated, but again, like, if it's anything like what you're doing with your dry rubs, man, you should be fucking crushing it.
Well, that's it, dude. At the end of the day, we're going to set ourselves apart with quality and craftsmanship of our product and the lifestyle that we represent. And outside of that, dude, it's in the big guy's hands, and we'll go from there. But we know that our stuff will stand with anything in this world, any product in this world. Our stuff will stand with it flavor-wise, 100%.
Amen to that. Where can everyone find you?
Guys, if you want to check us out, you can go to www.reloadrub.com, and you can also head over to Instagram at @ReloadRub. We're on TikTok. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Check us out. We're there. And also, guys, we've talked about a little bit of prepping, okay? If you want to go to www.preparewithreload.com, you can prepare yourself or anything that might come down the pipeline. So check that out too. We partnered with My Patriot Supply with a lot of their products, and they check them out. They got a great thing going.
Good shit, dude. Good shit. All right. As always, thank you for hanging out with us. Please go follow, share, subscribe. We love you long time, dude. I'll catch you all next time. Big husses, y'all. We'll see ya.
Oh, man. Listen.